Greetings, everybody. Welcome and happy Wednesday. It is the return of James Bond. It's long overdue, some might say. We are finally resuming our quest, our sacred mission to play every single James Bond 007 computer and video game in chronological order, or at least as many of them as we are capable of. We started this whole thing back in October of last year, and took, I want to say, a slight sort of break-ish over the holidays, and then we picked it right back up in January, just in time for me to get super busy with work and having to sort of dial back a little bit on streaming. I have since, in the past week or so, started to kind of get back in the groove. Things are settling down a little bit at work, finding more time and energy to do some streaming. Replaced my PC in the midst of all this too, which means that streaming stuff is like mostly up and running. But as I continue to discover, not everything is quite in place, but we'll make do. I was at least able to do enough quick little testing to make sure that I have Operation Stealth, aka James Bond 007, The Stealth Affair, playable. The Amiga version is the only one I kind of took any time to really check out. I'm pretty sure I have the DOS version as well. I do not have any of my save games on hand, which is just as well, because I feel like since it's been so long since we played it, we might as well just replay it from the beginning and catch up to where we were. This is a point-and-click adventure game, so of course, once you know the solutions to stuff, it's usually fairly quick to kind of get back to where you were. So I'm not worried about that. Well, hopefully I can at least remember the solutions to all the puzzles so far. The thing is, though, as may be the case in these types of games, just because I got to a certain point doesn't necessarily mean that I did everything correctly up to that point. The point in question, the where we left off, I believe we had been abducted and locked into a cave of some sort with no obvious means of getting out. I'm sure, you know, obviously it would require a little bit of finessing, a little bit of Bond-like intellect and quick thinking to get out of such a pinch, so it would make sense for the solution not to be obvious. But we'll see. We will try to keep an open mind, to keep an open eye or two, and see if there's anything we may have missed on our way there as we retrace our steps. Unusually, I feel like almost at this point, I do not have any kind of packages here to unbox. Technically, I did receive my Masters of the Universe Fields of Eternia crowdfunding package stuff at work on Monday, I think. Maybe it was yesterday. That looks kind of interesting. It's a big old board game, but I didn't have it here. I had it delivered. I successfully, believe it or not, had it delivered to my office while I was at work. But I intend to keep it there for, if I were to play it with anyone, I'd be playing it there and not here anyway. There will be opportunities for me to do some miniature painting as well. So I figured, why lug anything like that home if I'm just going to need to bring it back into the office anyway? So I might as well have it delivered there and keep it there for the time being. So no unboxing, but in 5 to 10 years, if I ever manage to play that game, I'll be happy to report on it. For now, it is on my figurative, if not literal, pile of crowdfunded board games that I may or may not ever get around to actually playing. But anyway, I guess point is there's not much more to say about that for now. There have been, as suspected, a continued stream of fighting game news and trailers and stuff. There was a new Tekken 8 trailer, the Lars trailer. I did not watch it. Maybe we'll watch it on Saturday or something. I don't know. There was also a new developer match video from Street Fighter 6 featuring Lily and Honda, which I very superficially looked at once over my lunch break today. I'm sure there's like 2 hours of analysis sitting there waiting for us if we want to get to it, but not tonight. We have more pressing matters to attend to. We will be continuing James Bond, and I feel like we might as well kind of get into it. Why not, right? So let's hop on over here. It's been a while since we've seen this layout, but we are back here for James Bond: The Stealth Affair. And for those of you who may either not remember much or perhaps did not catch previous streams, let's do a quick recap here on what this game is. If I can find my my shortcuts here. There we go. Mission number 9, James Bond: The Stealth Affair. Spy action imminent. Indeed, or at the very least, some spy adventuring. This is, of course, another game from our friends in France. Delphine Software's own Paul and Company delivering one of their cinematique point-and-click adventure games. As British super agent James Bond, just back from holiday in Kuwait, you will find yourself plunged headlong into the world of international espionage, sent across the globe in an attempt to find the missing super-secret stealth bomber. It's not just regular secret, it's super secret. The list of suspects include a Latin American dictator, the Russian KGB, and possibly organized crime. Originally released in Europe as Operation Stealth in 1989, Interplay rebranded the game with the 007 license for the US market in 1990, and that is, of course, the version we will be playing. Dagger Steve Bork, greetings. Extremely uncivilized French adventure gaming, James Bond working for the CIA. Yeah, it's, obviously, the game originally was just a full-on Bond pastiche, which I guess, Interplay had or somehow seized the opportunity to get the 007 license slapped onto it, which I suppose probably made it more, noteworthy for a lot of people. But they didn't really change much in the game. I mean, they wouldn't have had to change much, but the fact that, again, like, I feel like they we'll watch the intro because basically you can't skip it anyway. Yeah, and Bond just flying into the CIA headquarters. It's a little weird. I feel like there's enough going on in that scene where if they just called it the MI6 headquarters or whatever, it would have been a little weird. They could have changed it, I guess, but that would have, required effort. Of which they did not put too much, as far as changing it to adapt this new license. I will say that I think that stuff is like easy enough to overlook because it doesn't necessarily come up too much like in the actual game itself. But it is the thing that it's mostly weird playing it is that it, like, tonally it's nothing like James Bond. But like I said, it's a Bond pastiche. But it's almost like a Bond parody because, or I don't know, if that's entirely accurate either. There's a comedic tone to it, a sort of flippant, sarcastic tone, which obviously, Bond films are not devoid of comedy. I feel like for a proper full Bond experience, there needs to be an element of, if not straight out comedy, at least levity, But this game doesn't so much do that as, like, it's got this weird narration that, like, pokes fun at you and the game. Like, it's just the attitude of the game is. Can I say that it's very French? I can say this much. It has a very strong non-native English vibe. Not strictly just like the translation, although that as well, for sure. Like, it's not just that it's like the prose is like awkwardly translated. It's more just like something about the writing in the game feels, you know, intangibly, but still very much like it's not, you know, written by English speakers, which of course it isn't. It's a French game. We're about to get to a fun action scene. Well, we'll see about that, Dagger Steve. We'll see about that. For all I know, we're not even going to make it back to where we were previously. We'll see. We'll see. Of course, for those of you who need a slight refresher or perhaps have not watched previous streams, this is part of the whole thing to play all these Bond games. And if you want to see where we're at, you can type !007 in chat to get a link to the official spreadsheet with all the details on all the games that we'll be playing. Yeah, I will be starting over primarily because on my new PC I did not have any of my save data transferred over, but I kind of would have almost wanted to have redone it anyway, just to refresh my memory on everything that's led up to this point. I'm expecting it to go pretty quickly and smoothly, but you know, should not be taking those kinds of things for granted. But yeah, so if you are so inclined, you can check that out, and you can see the games we've been playing, the games we have coming up, as well as links to timestamps in the, like, if you click the title of any of the games, you'll get the little introduction, basically the equivalent of what we're looking at on stream right here. So you can do some research ahead of time, some prep work, if you are so inclined. But yeah, that is the Stealth Affair, and I think we've done enough chatting about it, and we should be getting set up to actually do some playing here. Let's see if we can get this sorted. These jams. And let's see here. I believe we should be able to just do this. Speed it up a little bit. This part is kind of obnoxiously loud. Turn it down a little bit. Need to get through the authentic copy protection experience here. So I have like a couple of different scans of this. So this like reflective sheet of paper with these multicolored blocks came with the game, and it was like designed specifically to be difficult to photocopy. So all the scans and versions you have, all of them kind of look a little different, but hopefully we can piece together what color each of these blocks are supposed to be. So I believe this should be dark blue. So you have to do 2 of them, and if you don't get them correct, if you miss either of them, it'll just say nope, too bad, without any feedback, which of course is deliberate because they don't want you to figure out how to like brute force it or anything. So yeah, I like this. This should be violet according to my sheet here. Violet is not an option, but I guess that means purple. I wonder if that was like a localized thing. No matter, looks like we got it. Well, let's enjoy this delightful cinematic introduction. We'll start the timer eventually. We're still catching up, not really playing, so we'll get there. Art, definitely a highlight in this game. These other Delphine adventure games. Thought it hung there for a second, but here we are. All right, that was quick. Anyway, the stealth affair. Yeah, here we go. Washington, D.C. CIA headquarters. Like, I guess without redrawing a bunch of graphics and changing this scene, redressing this as the, you know, MI6 or whatever Bond works for would be maybe a little tricky. Broccoli Donut, greetings. Yes, we're replaying it from the beginning because I don't have my save data from my old PC and I couldn't be bothered. Like, the effort I'd have to go through to get those files back, I'd rather spend just replaying it. Plus, it's been like, what, 2 months since we played this? So I don't want to assume that everyone's up to speed. I figured we might as well just replay it. It should be reasonably quick. Hello, Mr. Bond. Hello, Mr. Director. How can I be of service? My government has asked Your Majesty's government for the cooperation of MI5. Your superiors have loaned you to us until we can clear this situation up. There you go, it explains it. If I can be direct, what is the situation? Well, Bond, have you heard of the stealth? Some quality Bond-flavored comedy there. Little, through standard channels. An advanced aircraft capable of penetrating through any current technology, electronic detection screen, invulnerable to radar, heavy firepower. Correct, Mr. Bond. However, the version you're talking about is now obsolete. Up until now, we had a far superior model of the stealth. Up until now? What happened? Stealth was being tested at NAS Miramar, home of the finest pilots in the world, when one of the pilots was killed and the plane stolen. Soviets? Pentagon thinks so, but evidence has surfaced leading us to believe that they were not involved directly. Where should I start? Fortunately, we had a live sighting of the stealth. One of our agents in a small Latin American country called Santa Paragua has reported the stealth landing there. Santa Paragua. That's where I'll start. Our agent will contact you shortly after you arrive. I'll have transportation arrange everything. Oh, I almost forgot a couple of things. You will not be able to carry a firearm into the country, but our agent will arrange to get you a replacement as soon as you contact him. Also, a gentleman named Q sent this package for you. He said you'll know what to do with it, and that you'd better not treat it like you usually do. Oh, Q. Mr. Bond, you must recover the stealth. The fate of the free world may depend upon you. Good luck, Mr. Bond. Thank you, Mr. Director. Dude, the animation's so good. And the music, too, for that matter. Alright, here we are. Santa Paragua. Oh, sounds so good. Stereo panning, left, right. Alright, so we arrived. Let's see if I remember the interface here. We have our airline ticket and our briefcase. So use... Yeah, the use command is specifically for using inventory items on other things. Okay, I see. But if I right-click operate, then I can... Yeah, because if I just click inventory, I can't interact with anything there. If I right-click, no difference. If I right-click operate, then I can operate my briefcase to do some inspection here. We got some super secret spy shit in here, but we cannot mess around with it in the open. So we'll operate the briefcase right back. Oh yeah, well, we can restart the timer. Why not? So this guy is going to ask us to show our passport. Stop, senor! Do not pass here. Your passport. Whoop, okay. However, oh yeah, it's in our briefcase. Whatever. We have an American passport, which is pretty funny. Like, this whole first puzzle in the game immediately is like completely senseless. Although, like, they could have maybe made some changes. Whatever. The point is, we have our passport falsification machine that we can use to generate a passport. And we can generate passports for different nationalities. In this here newspaper stand, look at the coin slot, which is, if I'm not mistaken, is a slot meant for coins. There's also a return slot. Finally, a coin. When you pick up the coin, you get the strange feeling that you've done this sometime before. Already, we got some quirky English here. But yes, this is apparently a reference to, I guess, what's it called? The other Delphine adventure game. Not Cruise for a Corpse. Future Wars. I keep wanting to call it Colony Wars, but that's a completely different game. Anyway, we now have a coin. And we can use this coin to get a newspaper. Dude, I love this, like, the cartoony style. The art is great. It's just, like, so peculiar for James Bond. But it's nice. I like the art. Like, even these tiny pixel characters, there's so much, like, well, character in them. But it worked the first time. Do you think they repaired it since the last time? Again, we got some jokes. Okay, let's examine newspaper. One of the articles attracts your attention. Alfonso Merguez, government spokesman, announced this morning that a reception will be given at the palace to celebrate the reopening of diplomatic relations between Santa Paragua and the UK. Is this something that changes each playthrough? I feel like I wanted to say that it used to be France, but maybe I'm just misremembering. And this is very funny. James Bond now has to falsify a British passport. Because apparently he only has an American one. And if you show the American passport, there'll be like, oh, an American, eh? Well, we're just gonna kidnap and torture you. Game over. So, it's kind of weird because it's still easy enough to brute force this puzzle. I mean, we just solved it brute forcing it the first time we played it. Chat had to let me know about the newspaper thing because I'd missed the coin. Like you have 3 options basically. So at worst, it takes 3 tries. So it's a strange kind of introductory puzzle where you sort of learn the mechanics, but you can also accidentally bypass them. So why not? Yeah. I mean, it seems like an easy enough thing to randomize, right? They could easily change it. If I recall, there's like nothing else to do here. But we need to make sure that we're alone. We can operate our briefcase. Calculator, which in the manual it explains all these different gadgets and stuff. I want to say the calculator is there's a, does it say? It's the way of unlocking the secret compartment of my briefcase, right? But I think it's also like if you remove this from the briefcase explodes, which is like, yeah, very convenient, very convenient. We have a pen, which I believe is a pen that can like, is this the one that can like secrete different chemicals to melt metals or something? I forget. I guess we can probably take it. At some point we're going to hand over the briefcase, I think. So we probably should not leave American passports sitting around in the briefcase. I guess it's somehow safer in our chest pocket. I've already read it on the plane. All right, so if we operate calculator, the secret compartment opens. Better get excited. All right, so here's our passport falsifier and some buttons and the unused passport. So I believe here you can actually just, yeah, you don't even have to like use the operate command. You can just click this directly. Okay, so we're not making a British passport, we're making an English passport specifically. So we can then, I suppose, take the unused passport and use the unused passport in the opening. You insert it into the slot and you push the button, and after a few seconds, the passport comes back out. Here's an English passport in good condition. Yeah, look at him over there. Now that's a good Bond face right there. Man, that reminds me, I still like, I've been so busy, but I need to make some kind of Bond emotes. I feel like it has to be done. All right, let's close this up. So now in our inventory, we have the American passport, the ticket, the newspaper, and our English passport and the pen. So we can now, well, let's check that this worked. Oh yeah, I think I did test. Yeah, I did a little test thing here. I'll just overwrite this. That's fine. All right, so we operate the English passport. Nope. Oh, okay, that's kind of cool. Forgot the commands. Operate it right back. We want to use the English passport on customs official. Everything's okay, senor. Have a good stay. Little wave. Dude, the character art's so good in this. All right, let's go over to the info booth, and the way she leans forward when we get close. Dude, I keep wanting to say this game is so good. I don't know that this game is so good. It sure has some issues as far as adventure game design goes, but it's cool. Speak to welcome hostess. Hello, senorita. My name is Bond. James Bond. Bond, wait a second. I think I have a message for you. So he's clearly not like traveling incognito or anything. He just somehow didn't have a British passport in his own name. Here it is. It's a telegram that just arrived. Thanks, senorita. So let's examine our telegram. The telegram reads, Flight 714, Mr. Martinez, stop. Okay, thank you very much. Your airline ticket, please. Use airline ticket on guard. You show your ticket to the guard. Good, you can pass. So I guess there's a 7 here, so that's for flight 714, I suppose, which I think actually it's not the case. Yeah. This green dog looking guy is just hanging out, but we need to go to the other. Yeah, I guess it said flight 312 there or something. There we go. So sticker on the baggage reads Emmanuel Lecos. Green one. Yeah, so I think these are all the developer names. Of course, they're gonna do something fun here. Yeah, property of Imagex. I think it's the blue bag. Yeah, Philippe Chastel. Or Paul. Mr. Martinez, caps lock. Okay. There we go. Must have misclicked. Okay, you take it. I want to say if you try to grab any of the other bags, it's just not going to let you. Now, so we have a bag with someone else's name on it, which is not going to go over well with this guy. So once again, we will retreat. Slightly more private quarters. The pathfinding is a little funky sometimes. Examine the baggage. Okay, nothing new there. So that's the thing. Like, one thing that I definitely feel makes this like this game compared to what you might expect from like more premium adventure games, like there's this kind of surprising lack, or at least for me, you know, I grew up playing point and click adventure games, but I don't have a tremendous amount of experience outside of like Lucas and Sierra games. I played other stuff here and there, but I wouldn't say that I have like a super, like, I have expectations of this genre based on a like relatively slim selection of games, I suspect. But it's peculiar that there's not a lot of, like, in the grand scheme of things, there's not a lot of writing, there's not a lot of flavor, like, at least relative to how much they could put in, and especially if you want to have, you know, for something, a licensed game like this, even though, of course, it wasn't originally, but, you know, if you want to create, even if it's not licensed, if you want to create the theme and the experience of this, like, Bond, you know, film, I feel like there's a lot you can do with narration and flavor text of like item descriptions and just the way the character reacts to interacting with things But like 90% of what you can do, it's like examine toilet, nothing. You find nothing. Examine James, nothing interesting. Like it's always, you can't do anything. There's nothing interesting. There's nothing to say about it. Nothing happens. And like, absolutely not. It would be a waste of my valuable time. Like you get chastised by the game for like thinking that interacting with the game world might be something that's worth your while. It's very strange. A lot of the description in Fleming's novels would lend themselves to an adventure game. That's a great point. I'm not familiar with the books, but like, yeah, there's literally a literal source, right? Literary source, even. Which, you know, I feel like I haven't read them, but I suspect that the tone of those is not exactly the tone of this game. But I guess that's part of the complaint too, right? Like the tone of the game is odd. But it feels like a missed opportunity, and like you pretty quickly get into this, like, you know, a lot of these games, especially with LucasArts games, were like looking and getting descriptions and interacting with stuff. Like, yeah, that is certainly a thing in Sierra games too. But like dialogue is less of a thing, etc. But in a lot of these games, you certainly have that like instinct to just like examine everything, because you want both vital gameplay information, but also like you want to give the game every opportunity you can for it to give you, you know, flavor, something to enrich your experience of the game world. And this game, like, you kind of, it's like pulling teeth, you know. You try to have the game tell you something interesting about it, something, anything, and it sort of flat out refuses. Yeah, exactly, Borg. Like what you end up doing in the game is like, yeah, you're solving puzzles, you're on an adventure, you're doing this and that, but at the end of the day, like, you're gonna spend a lot of time probably fumbling around a little bit, not knowing exactly what to do. And one good way of making that less frustrating is to make it an inherently rewarding and entertaining experience. Like, make the game world itself interesting to explore and rewarding to interact with. And this game just absolutely does not do that, which is a little strange. Like, what happens in the story, like the actual, like, the interactions that exist are cool, but they don't really feel like they organically happen in a living, breathing world. It very much feels as artificial as it is, in that, like, if something elicits any kind of reaction, you're like, oh, okay, so this is what I'm supposed to do, because you're kind of conditioned to feel like either you get a response or there is just absolutely nothing. Which is also, I think, from a game design perspective, a little weird, because it kind of, it's not exactly accurate to say that it makes the game easier, but it sort of engages your brain a little less.
Unspeakable horror awaits you.
What's up, Macaw45? 38 months of unspeakable horror. Thank you very much for your continued support. You know, it's not necessarily that it becomes easier, but it's like the artifice of the game mechanics become far more exposed when you don't even necessarily need to pay attention to what is being said or what is happening. Just the mere fact that something is happening, there is a response, is like, okay, cool, that's progress, something happened. You're not incentivized to like really care or pay attention to what any of the actual text says or what's happening, which is, I think, strange for a game whose sort of primary way of communicating to the player is by like delivering text. Anyway, I digress. Let us operate our baggage. Okay, it opens automatically. You find an electric razor and a watch. You put the watch on your wrist and slip the razor into your pocket. Then you close the suitcase. Oh, I guess we probably don't necessarily need to go in here. Don't remember what the descriptive text was designed like in Future Wars. That game was completely carried by the insane visual spectacle regardless. Yeah, I think, you know, that game probably has a little bit more of a a fantastical sort of setting with the kind of future sci-fi stuff. I mean, I think the art in this is great, even if it's interesting, like, you know, between the Amiga and DOS versions, the Amiga version has fewer colors and everything, but I still think it looks better in some regards. Some screens definitely kind of feel like they look better on the DOS version because they really feel like they're sort of color crushed. Whereas other things, like certain rooms in the DOS version, just has a bunch of gradients that feel kind of out of place. A little weird. But the Amiga version has the superior audio for sure. In any case, like, even if the setting is a little more mundane, the actual sort of event scenes and set pieces and stuff like that are really cool. And that's, I mean, I would say the same for this, and not knowing how they compare per se, but those kind of aspects are like the cool parts of this game for sure. So if I recall, this game looks better than Sierra stuff, but Eric Chai, of course, moves visuals into Galaxy tier. Yeah, I could see that for sure. What's up, Space Hoppercopter? So we learn, if we read the manual, which this took me a while to figure out, the Electric Razor is a recorder, which apparently means that it's also it can record. It's like you can secretly record clandestine meetings and whatnot, but it can also play back audio apparently. Let's see if I remember what we're all supposed to do here. It's a plain old electrical razor. You see that there is a battery compartment on the back. So I guess if we operate the razor, take the cover off of the battery compartment. No batteries! Instead, the slot contains a cable. You draw the cable out. So this is, it's so weird because the manual has these like relatively detailed descriptions and schematics of all the gadgets, but it fails to, like, it goes to great lengths to explain that you have to remove a, like, you have to like open a little compartment to insert a tape so that you're able to record stuff. Like, it explains all this in a way that makes it, I was going to say obvious, which I guess isn't the right word because it's not actually like what you're doing, but like it gives the impression, very, very distinct impression, that there will be a puzzle in the game where upon, you know, procuring this razor, you're going to need to also get a tape. Like, you have to remember to insert the tape so you have something to record to, etc., etc. Like, it doesn't say shit about batteries or cables. But I believe, yeah, there's an electric socket. I think we can, yeah, so the cable is like its own item here. Oh yeah, we find nothing. Oh, nope. Use electric cable on electric socket. You plug the cord in the wall. That's good animation. A voice coming out of the razor startles you. Contact meeting at Las Mimosas Park. Recognition sign, red carnations. I wonder if this is somehow randomized. I doubt it, but... Warning, this device will self-destruct in 30 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Ha ha ha! It was a joke. It's a little bit of spy humor for you there. Unplug the cable. So we still have the watch, which I think the watch has like a grappling hook or a wire or something like that in the manual. Yeah, because there's this like detailed account of Agent 003 escaping armed guards in Hong Kong by swinging between rooftops using his watch wire or something like that. Anyway, we need to do this because if you don't listen to this tape, if you go to the meeting place with the red carnation, your contact doesn't show up. So you need to have listened to this tape for him to show up. Because really, like, we figured all that stuff out there because it's like sort of self-explanatory, like self-evident enough that that's what you're supposed to do. There's like a few places you can go to and you can get the carnation, like that seems like the thing to do. But nothing happened until we figured out that we can do the whole razor tape thing. Anyway, we need to also use our baggage on bin. Okay, you get rid of it so that we don't have any incriminating evidence on our person. I guess to be safe, we should we'll save over this. But this guy will now ask for the passport again, I believe. Do not pass here, your passport. First, we want to give him the English passport. You show your passport to the customs official. Gracias, senor. Can I see your suitcases? You hand him the bag, he opens it, looks carefully in it, and gives back to you, and then... Everything's okay, senor. Have a good stay. Luckily, I wonder if... Because if you have the other bag in your inventory, he sort of questions, like... he says, like, your name's Bond, wasn't it? And you're like, yep, that's correct. Like, why do you have this bag with Mr. Martinez's name on it? Which, shockingly, if memory serves, is not actually an instant game over. I think you just, like, make an excuse, like, oh, it's a mistake, and then you just throw it away, and then you can go through again. But I wonder if you leave your American passport in the suitcase, does he actually find it and start wondering why we have multiple passports? Not so sure. Anyway. We made it through the airport unscathed. Did this effect with the see-through windows, like, this legitimately I think looks way better in this version than, like, there's some weird effect going on in the DOS version. This is like a little simpler, but it's much more effective. I think it looks great. Music's so good. All right, we just wait for the taxi. Buenos dias, senor. Where are we going? Downtown, please. Okay, boss, let's go. Shall I let you off here, senor? Yes, this is fine. Thank you. So, we're downtown. And we have a little flower shop there where we can get our red carnations so that our contact will recognize us. But we do not. Okay, I'm trying to remember if we just, the taxi was free, I guess. I forget if clothes. They're part of your camouflage. Good thing I won't have to wear them. Okay. Could if I wanted, but I don't. I know you go to the bank and you get change. And you can do it like multiple times. But did I mess something up by not having a banknote or something? I can't. I remember you go to the bank and you get like change or something, and you need to do that. You use one of your coins to buy the flour or whatever. I mean, we can go to the bank and check. But I feel like I probably missed something. Unless they just hand us free. Maybe we just go to beg for table scraps at the bank. Because we can go chat with Florist over here. Please. Excuse me, senor. I've got work to do. The flowers cost 2 cruceros. Okay. You remember the broad strokes, but it's always the details that are a little fuzzy. Looks like a nice phone booth, but it's out of order. Oh well, who would you call anyways? So this path down here leads to the hotel, the beach and the hotel, I believe. Yeah. Up here we get to the military base and the park. Well, we passed the park first, I think. Yeah. That was called the Ghostbusters. Yeah, I mean, sure. All right, so weird little freeze. Let's go into the bank, because I think you can. Yeah, you can catch a cab by the hotel, but you're not actually soft locked if you go here. Speak to bank clerk. Before you have time to open your mouth, he cuts in. Sorry, senor, but I don't have time to talk. Okay. Oh, okay. Damn the ashtray. Some cigarette butts. Okay. Oh, do you like find points in the trash or some shit? Very Bond-like maneuver. So I don't think there's anything else. In our current inventory. Yeah, you can just waltz into the bank vault, which is also a bit peculiar. But we're gonna go in here later. Awkward. You have to like press both mouse buttons to open this menu. Let's do this. I think, yeah, this guy's sleeping. I'm mostly perplexed. Not that I'm like stuck at a puzzle, but more like I didn't think I would have forgotten something. But let me, because I was kind of blazing through things here, let's double check. Full on the classic 80s Lucas style where you can't click, like you have to actually pick a particular verb for the screen to tell you what anything is. I think this guy has like nothing going on here. No comprendo. Alright. There's nothing else in here. Yeah, literally nothing to interact with. I think there's only one open bathroom. I wonder if there's... Nope. Nothing. I just figured if there's something more to... Alright, let's watch containing many treasures. Can I operate the watch? Watch seems to be set. No reason to touch it. Like, I feel like there's... Oh, maybe I can... maybe it's... right, okay. Maybe I need to operate my American passport. There we go. There's the money. I knew that there was something... Right, okay. Well, we can load the other save then. Absolutely not! I'm just trying to open my inventory. There we go. Operate American passport. Open the passport and find nothing of interest, except for these extremely vital banknotes. Lots of money. Yeah, that's a funny thing. It's lots of money, and then you get some change, and like the game, well, you'll see. Use currency on a bank clerk. You take the bill out of your pocket and throw it on the desk. You have any change? Of course. Wait a second. Bank teller takes the banknotes and gives you back some change that you do not count. This is rather conspicuous, don't you think? Here you are, senor. I have a little more change if you need some. So we now have according to the game. Nope, I have to examine with the right mouse button. Lots of money. But if we ask for some change, if we use our pile of money to ask for change, that is it. The money is gone. So we have lots of money that will last us long enough to exchange it for some pocket change twice, and then we're broke. Oh, bond, yeah, not much for worrying about money, I guess. It doesn't even count it. All right, now that we have our coins, let's examine the coins. You find nothing, of course. Use our coins on florist. Give some money to the florist. Paid up, senor. Choose a flower. Then we have different flowers here, but of course the red carnations is what we want. Okay, you take the prettiest red carnation. There you go. James Bond kind of guy run around with a comical sack of coins from the bank. Yeah, big old dollar sign with 2 dashes in it. Yeah. So we're ready to meet our contact. Awkward pathfinding here. I have to like click somewhere around the edge of the screen, but behind the bank. So we have to operate our red carnation. No, right. We have to use the red carnation on James. Oh, that's right. We put the red carnation in our buttonhole. Forgot about that. We examine James. Oh, nothing to say about it. Now we are ready. A little bit of rest at last. Oh, you took your own time. Watch out! Oh! All right, a little bit of fast forward there, but very dramatic. Groan! Rah, James, I reached the end. Listen to me. The dock. The documents. In a safe place. Here. 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 Is. The key. Ah! In a burst of energy, he holds the key out to you, taped to a card, and falls down on the ground. 2475. So, the man who is lying down on the ground seems to be your contact. Alas, it looks like he is dead. So you don't want to stick around here for too long, or the gunman will show back up. I was going to say, no, we get arrested for murder. Okay. Congratulations, you've just failed, but don't worry, you'll have all the time in the world to contemplate failure when you're behind bars for a very long time. Well, good thing we saved. I guess what we need to do is we can first use our red carnation on James's buttonhole. Then we lower the game speed. I recall this being a thing. You can use the plus and minus keys to change the game speed. And on the default speed, James walks like painfully slow. Let's lower it by 3. In fact, let's lower it by 5. Might be the default. I'm not sure. This should give us a little more time to react. I have to like find the right pixel to sit down. There you go. Take your own good time. Watch out! Ah, you can actually sort of almost read it now. Right, okay. It's very awkward to have these like real-time elements though. The key are... Alright. Let's just peace out. Before we get arrested for murder. Never find us in here. Alright. It's funny, we get the elaborate floor footstep sounds in the street, but not on this polished marble floor. I mean, I'm sure it's because it's the music playing, but still. Well, let's save, then now that we made it out here. So let's examine the card and key. If I recall, I got a little stuck on this too, because it's like just a little bit specific how you need to the specific interactions you have to do here to make this work. The key tape of the card, on top of it, a series of figures hastily scribbled down. So I think we have to operate card and key. Yeah, to take the key off the card. So now we have the card and the key as separate items. A little metal key. So I think you need to do this before you give the card to this guy. If you give the card and the key, it doesn't work. There's some weird thing like that where, like, obviously, again, with the limited locations you have available, it's pretty easy to figure out that, well, this is obviously some kind of... The guy even says, like, oh, it's a secure, safe place. Like, yeah, okay, right. It's a safety deposit box or whatever, right? But I had some trouble figuring out how to explain that to this guy. But hopefully works now if we give him the card. Show your card to the guy behind the counter. Very good, Senor. I'll open the depository door for you. Go on down. There we have it. Like, very straightforward, but if you don't do the exact right thing, like, there's not a lot of leeway. So there we go. The door's now open. Welcomed in with open arms. $24.71. $24.74. $24.75. All right, let's use our key on safe. Insert the key in the lock. Door opens, and you see a briefcase that is identical to the one you have. You are really curious to open the briefcase, which contains a calculator! Game's very excitable. I mean, it is pretty cool. It's pretty exciting, this secret spy shit, but that the excited tone still seems a little bit out of place. Good God! But this briefcase belongs to one of our own agents! Since you realize that it's a briefcase from one of your own agents, you set the calculator. Bravo! It worked. The secret compartment in the briefcase contains a big envelope and a small electronic box. Examine the little box. Examine the box. There are 8 red diodes and an on-off switch on the top and 4 little suction cups on the bottom. So I believe this is also detailed in the manual. I think this is some kind of secret spy recording device also or something. I forget what it is. Or maybe this is like the safe cracking device. Of course, it's the falsifier, which I cannot look at, but that's fine. Wait, note. Nothing to say about it. Well, is there anything on the note? I guess not. If there's nothing to say about it, I guess there must not be. If this were appropriately British, it'd say something like, "Spiffing good job, James." Yeah, the kid, his game could stand to be a fair amount more British, that is true. And it's not often that I say that about games. But it's true in this particular instance. Alright, well, let's grab a little box. You slide the box into one of your huge pockets. Like, why does Bond have huge pockets? Is this like an adventure game joke? I don't exactly get it. Like, this game very frequently gives you the feeling of sort of, I don't think I get what they're going for here. Like, is that a joke? Like, you try to, like, sort of identifying what the joke was supposed to have been. Like, I don't know, maybe. There are 2 words written in small black letters on the envelope. Operation Stealth. They said the thing. Well, I mean, if we play the version of the game that's called Operation Stealth. But that's fine. Let's grab it. Can never understand unless we know fluent French and play it in its native tongue. And even then, you know, that's not a given. Even then, we can only begin to guess. We can only begin to to speculate on what was going on in the minds of these French creative masterminds. Anyway, okay, you take the envelope. Suddenly. Don't move, Mr. Bond. Give me that envelope. You? But the assassination! I hope you liked that little trick. Your colleague had been the least cooperative with us, sorry to say, and we've been obliged to play the game like this to get that briefcase open. One of the men takes the envelope and opens it. Everything is here, Colonel Karpov. No names, Comrade Ostrovich, no names. Let's go. After a hard trip. I have a sneaking suspicion that these guys might be Russian. I'm using my Bondian intellect and sharp wits to figure that one out. Everything is ready, Colonel Karpov. No names, idiot Comrade Ostrovich. Russia would love, Mr. Bond. Sure. Okay. And here we are. So, let's save. So we're very close to being up to whatever words you use, to where we were prior to our break from the game. There's a lot of stuff to look at here, not much that seems to necessarily react with anything. And here's, again, based on last time we were here, I got a little bit stuck. I couldn't make it further, and I wasn't sure. I didn't feel confident that I had everything I needed in my inventory, but I don't know for a fact that I explored and exhausted every possibility anyway, so I'm happy to kind of retrace those steps and go through it again and see. If I need help, if I need advice, I will let you guys know. But in the meantime, I would kindly ask everyone to continue to refrain from posting hints or guesses. Alright, let's examine some ropes. The bonds seem really tight. Can't wait to see Lord Bromley's estate. Yeah, the ZX Spectrum exclusive James Bond light gun game. That's a pretty powerful sentence right there. There's a couple of very powerful games coming up before we get to all the normie Bond games. And then there's like a chunk of normie games before we get to the mobile wastes, the dank swamps of mobile games. Although, I mean, I joke, but I'm sure a lot of those will actually be pretty sick. Anyway, let's see what else we can find here. Examine the ground. Several stones are piled on top of each other. Like turning his head. That's so good. A rock wall. I feel a breeze of fresh air. So that seems like a hint. I'm also, by the way, as far as the upcoming games go, I'm pretty excited about some of the secret missions we've got lined up. The next one is ready to go after this, I suppose. And that's going to be Aqua Base. Another contender for possibly the first Bond game ever. It's a little bit unclear on the exact release dates of Aqua Base and Shaken But Not Stirred, which we played before this. But there's some other interesting stuff. Like, I guess you just have to imagine what kind of Bond or Bond-like games or what have you that, given what's on the official game list of games we're playing, you just have to guess a little bit what games didn't make that cut, but are still worthy of being played as bonus games. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We got to finish this first. So I forget. Right, so I have ropes in my inventory, and they let me keep some of my gadgets. So by the way, I was experimenting a little bit with this when we played it last time. The way that sequence is designed, basically, once you open the safe, it immediately triggers the cutscene sort of, it triggers an automatic inescapable sequence of events that leads to you getting to that suitcase close-up. And once you're in that scene, you cannot close the suitcase or return to the game. You're forced into picking up the little box because you need to pick it up in order to pick up the envelope. And once you pick up the envelope, this happens. So basically that whole thing is to make sure that we get here with the little box in our inventory. We don't have any money left, so I guess you get you get enough money to buy the flowers, and you get one more chance. You get like 2 monies. So if you end up buying the wrong flower, you get one more chance to buy the right flower. But you could still buy 2 wrong flowers and be screwed. You'd think the money would just last longer than 2 flowers, but that's fine. Yeah, we lost like all our passports and newspapers. Like, it definitely looks as if the game has scrubbed our inventory of useless stuff, which is probably a favor. Which also means that it's probably a good thing that we picked up the pen, because I wonder if you leave the pen in the suitcase, would we have lost the pen? I feel like that's entirely likely. So there could have been some other mishap like that has left us without a key item here. I don't know, but we'll see. Point is, I wanted to confirm, as I vaguely recalled, that the rope is part of our inventory, which means we can use ropes on ground, maybe. Oh yeah, if you have anything else like this, go ahead and finish it, which is a very, very French sentence for being written in English. Maybe we can operate the ground. Oh, there we go. Somehow or other, you clear away the stones. You feel something at your fingertips. Something sharp. A piece of metal. Boy, my voice is not holding up for this. It's hard to see what it is exactly, but it seems sharp to the touch. So let's now use our ropes on a piece of metal. Great idea. Rub the ropes together vigorously against the piece of metal. Animation's so cool. After a lot of effort, the ropes are finally loosened. Free at last. All right, our ropes are loosened. Okay, so I have a little bit of an idea here. I'll say we can operate the piece of metal. Oh. You clear away the ground with your little agile hands, and soon you discover that the only piece of metal... Wait, what? That the piece of metal is only the end of a pickaxe. You grab the thing that you wanted so much. Okay, okay, so we probably got this far. Salmon pickaxe. The pickaxe must have been left behind in the cave by a miner. Alright. Yeah, there's beams. You find nothing. I wasn't exactly searching, but description of the beam of some kind would have been helpful. Pile of rocks are blocking the exit! James, the situation is disturbing. Alright, if you say so. Alright, rock. Find nothing. We take rock. Take James. I could if I wanted, but I don't. Alright, can we operate the rock? You do it, nothing happened. Yeah, we operated the rock. I tried operating it, but nothing happened. It's a very, very funny thing to think of. Like, oh yeah, I operated the rock over there. Like, was that? Oh, sorry. Let me just operate my briefcase, and I'll come right over, and we can have a chat. All right, let's operate the pile of rocks. It's not worth it. I'm never gonna make it. So that's another thing that's really funny and strange here. Like, sometimes the narration seems as if it's written from Bond's perspective, like he's narrating stuff. And other times it definitely does not seem to be the case. I wonder if it's like equally weirdly like ambiguous and sort of flip-floppy like that in French as well. I'm assuming that the game would have been released in French. But even if it weren't, I guess they would still have written the script in French, I imagine. Or maybe they just wrote it in English. And I mean, they clearly didn't get someone, at the US Gold UK office to rewrite it in English, that's for sure. Let alone the Interplay one. Okay, so use pickaxe on pile of rocks. Even with the pickaxe, I will never get out of this pile of rocks. All right, okay. All right, we can feel a breath of fresh air. Nothing happens if you operate it. We use the pickaxe. It's like you did nothing. So the ground. Yeah, if you have anything else like this, go ahead and finish it. That's kind of the thing. Like, I remember there being a few things you can interact with and something like it seemed like there's a breeze, which would imply that there's some kind of opening here. I don't know. So we have our watch. We have the Razer recording device. Actually, can we operate? Oh, okay. I was wondering if we can put the cable back in the Razer to clean up our inventory a little bit, but I guess no such luck. So as I mentioned, I believe that the pen may be, if it's what I think it is, it's like a thing that you can use to like melt various metals, but it's like you have to be precise about how many drops of acid or whatever you use, or else you will suffocate yourself or some shit. And I don't know which metal this pickaxe is made of, and I don't know why we would want to melt it, I suppose, but it is a metal object. I wonder if we can a rock wall. And this, like, do you have to hit a certain pixel or something here? I wouldn't put it past the game. It doesn't seem to be like how the game operates. No pun intended. But I wouldn't put it past it. That is mightier than the pickaxe, yeah. But can we use the... I guess you want to make sure that we've tried the pickaxe on every item. And it's like... Is this beam different than the other beam? I don't know. Like, does the pickaxe have its entire handle? I don't know. We only saw like 2 pixels of it, and it made it sound like it was just like the metal head of a pickaxe. But it's not commenting on that either. It's just like, nah, this wouldn't work. It's like, okay. Either it wouldn't work, or it's like, yeah, you tried it, it didn't work, with no other explanation as to how it played out or what happened. Strangely dry for sure. It's like you did nothing. We didn't do nothing, but it's like we did nothing. From all over the other side of the screen. It's a little strange. I guess we have an autosave here. We should be fine if something happens. But can we operate the crown to... Little mounds of earth surround the hole that you just dug out. Oh, there's a rock. Interesting. No need to take it. Won't do anything. All right. Can we operate the pen? No result. Can we use the pen on... Oh, can you... I guess you cannot use inventory objects on other inventory objects. Oh, no, okay. I right-click here. I see. Nope, okay. Use watch. Yeah, maybe, like, can we connect a wire? Something? Like you did nothing. What if we operate the watch? Nope, no need to set it. Can we speak through the wall? A wall of silence, okay, nope. Oh, here's another rock. It's so strange, like, what... where they put these like hot spots on the screen, because it doesn't entirely seem to correlate with like the actual graphics on screen. Like, is this some kind of crevice here? I feel it breathe. Maybe you just need to walk into a certain spot. Like, that's how you walk through doors, right? You don't need to like operate the door, open or go through the door. You just flip through the rock wall here. Maybe there's an egg. Is there an egg? What is there an exit to the screen here? Oh wait, I got stuck on a rock. Nope, I guess not. Could have been. Nothing to say about James. Can we operate James? Nothing's happening. More action and less talk. Yep. No need to take a pile of rocks. No need to take a beam. A rock wall. Let's forget about it. Nothing but rock. Yeah, see? So you get a different response here than on this section. How do we use the pickaxe on this rock wall? Well, if we have anything else like this, we should go ahead and finish it. That's fair enough. Pickaxe on something else. Can we take ground? Like loose mounds of earth? No need. I'm basically just brute forcing here. Can we use watch on James? Nope. Can we use pickaxe on James? I used the pickaxe on myself and nothing happened. So I'm still not, like, I don't know for a fact that the pen we have is the pen that is described in the manual. But if that is the case, I don't know how to do anything with it. Unless it's like, you can't until you reach the point where all of a sudden you really need it. Like, this is not a thing. You see something flash by and like, oh, I saw something. It's like, oh, that's fucking James walking past the cursor. I want to say that I saw the beam thing appear. That's this one. I saw like some spot here, but it was probably just James. Yeah, like so far the game has not like demanded that we click the exact right pixel for anything, but you know, that doesn't preclude the possibility of the game featuring such a thing. But the thing that has me also like feeling that that's maybe not the case is because clearly this rock wall has one reaction and this entire section has a different one over here. Could there be like within this section like an even tinier subsection where I would expect to, I don't know, this looks like something crevice, but I don't know, we're being foiled by the Amiga's limited color palette because we can't make out what anything is. So far not really any progress compared to the previous play, but we did at least make it all the way back there. I mean, I don't have a lot of ideas here. The little box in the red carnation we haven't done anything with. I don't see how the flower would help us. Let's see if we can get some information on any of this. Haven't noticed anything special about the little box. Yep. operate the little box? I don't see why, at least for now. Okay. Can we use the little box on something? Like I said, I think, if I recall correctly, that this is for safe cracking. We can look it up. I don't have it completely on hand, but I have the manual. Actually, I think I might. Yeah, there we go. I have it set up in OBS here. Let me just grab the controls of this here. So this is the original European version, Operation Stealth. That's why we learned that our name is John Glames. Which, by the way, the US manual has like a bunch of details missing. Like, it doesn't include, it includes most of these images, but not all of them, which makes some of these details a little confused. Like, there's something here where it's, oh yeah, the code breaking box. There we go. There's like a thing where it says like, oh, as shown in the picture, blah, blah, blah. And then like the picture they're talking about in the text is not present in the manual. Fingerprint revealing cigarettes, rocket launching cigarettes. Oh yeah, okay, so it warns us that the code breaking box has a very limited battery time. It's probably going to be a hassle once we have to use it. Oh, it's the safe cracking box, aka the code breaking box. I see. Yeah, here's the thing about the recording razor. It gives this like detailed step-by-step instruction for how to load the tapes and turning it on and off and record everything. And this is like completely useless because what you use it for is just listen to a tape. Yeah, the chase in Hong Kong. Oh yeah, DSC is what they call the agents here. They're not 00 agents in this version. So there's a 30-meter cable inside the watch that supports up to 100 kilos. Cable plays out in 10 seconds. Yeah, the cutting pen. Just like the watch, an ordinary pen will never awaken the suspicion of your enemies. The cutting pen looks like an ordinary fountain pen. Which, by the way, the pen in our briefcase definitely did not look like a fountain pen, so I don't know if that's the one. But who knows? It is special because it contains a pressurized capsule of benzoic acid. When the swivel ring on the pen body is turned 180 degrees, the benzoic acid capsule depressurizes and lets drops of benzoic acid fall from the nib of the pen. Yeah, properties of benzoic acid: dissolves all metals. Amount of acid needed. Swivel ring. Use prescribed number of drops. If you exceed the dose, the vapors given off by the chemical reaction could suffocate you. Note: the cutting pen was used successfully by Agent DSC-1 to escape from the Almadena prison. So that's a little bit of a hint too, I suppose. Oh, what's up, Atomic Runner? James Bond is back. And so are his games. So yeah, that's the other thing. Like, this pen doesn't really look like the pen in the suitcase, which makes me less sure that that's what that's supposed to be. But obviously, anytime you need to use this, it's going to be vital that you learn what metal it is you're trying to dissolve. And I guess the only metal here is the pickaxe, which dissolving it is probably not going to help. Yeah, we're playing Glames Bond this time. Oh, all right. Let's take a quick look again. So, I mean, the little box obviously has a specific use. The red carnation. It is interesting that we get to keep the carnation. Obviously, we just needed that for the meeting. And with most of our inventory scrubbed, I mean, I guess, I don't know, it's a little bit funny because I was going to say, you could imagine that, you know, the Soviet guys took our valuables or whatever. They took our loose change, they took our passports, they took our briefcase. And that's like the explanation for why we got rid of some items and not all of them, and they still let us keep some stuff that's like useless. But it's basically all gadgets, right? We got to keep the box, the watch, the razor, and the pen. The pickaxe we found in here, and then the red carnation. So it's a little bit conspicuous that the red carnation is still in the inventory. It could have easily been scrubbed without too much suspicion, in my opinion. But I mean, maybe it's just because it was yeah, we were already wearing it in our buttonhole. And bring it back. Well, it's still in our inventory, I guess. Maybe that's why it's there. It was on it was on our person, not in our huge pockets. So if there's something we need to do here on a particular pixel or whatever, I feel like I would expect it to give a different response for the examine verb as well. So you wouldn't have to try this. Oh, I didn't mean to use it on James. So I don't think this is the solution. It doesn't. Nothing whatsoever hints at the solution being, I need to use the pickaxe, but I shouldn't use it on this wall here. I should use it in a very particular square inch of the wall in some corner somewhere. I am going to assume that there are people in chat who are either familiar with the game and know it by heart, or finding it excruciating to watch me stumble around to the point where they looked up a guide or something. So I'm assuming that I could ask chat for assistance if need be. And I don't want the chat to tell me the solution, but I'm nearing the point where I'm curious to ask question to point me in the right direction. And again, I want to reiterate that I don't want help until asked for. But I suppose it would be worth asking whether... Oh, okay. A little floppy disk icon for a cursor there for half a second. For anyone who knows, like, am I stuck, or do I have what I need to proceed? Because if there was an item I needed and I don't have, then fucking around here is like a complete waste of time. I definitely know that the city section was something I like sped through a little bit, not even just this time. I am not soft locked. Okay. I have what I need. Excellent. Okay. I mean, that's not excellent in a way, because it doesn't actually... What that tells me is that what I'm doing right now, which feels indistinguishable from wasting my time, is in fact not wasting my time. Or by extension, I won't be able to tell if I'm wasting my time or not. But it's good, of course, in the sense that we have successfully made it this far. I'm just... Okay, I need to think, because... The reason that makes me feel a little iffy is I'm not sure what a good next question would be. I mean, we can basically try... We can try using everything on everything that I can find. The razor's not gonna... Oh, that's right. Oh, yeah, we continue to take the cover off the battery compartment over and over again. Cables. Can I use the cable through the hole in the wall? Nope. Use. Because, like, it seems like the obvious thing, like, if you're stuck in a cave, you can tell that there's a breeze against a wall, and you have a pickaxe in your hands. It would seem fairly straightforward that you would use the pickaxe on that wall to try to open a wider crack of some kind. That is my first and immediate thought, which I have attempted to do several times. To absolutely no avail. I think I've done this several times. My name's Bond. James Bond. Okay, good. Speak with him? No answer. Yeah, okay. It's just like a variety of generic talking is useless responses, which is actually not good because that can be a little confusing. I was going to say convincing. That's not the right word. Operate. We can operate the pickaxe. Okay. French gaming. Okay. Is it connecting? Where do I stand? Do I stand over here? Oh, something happened. Okay. Now this is like the most adventurous of adventure game logic I have encountered in quite some time. The finest distinction between operating and using. We can use the pickaxe on the wall all day long. Nothing happens. We have to physically position ourselves just right before we operate the pickaxe. Okay. Go swimming. Actually. Alright, this music's pretty sick. I'm assuming this is some kind of oxygen bar or something. Oh, yep, it's draining. Does it fill back up? Oh, it does. Okay. That's actually kind of cool. I'm sure this is going to be obnoxious. Dagger Steve, I believe it was, who warned me, I should say, about this upcoming excellent action sequence. This looks pretty cool, but we made progress. We transcended the language barrier and managed to operate our pickaxe out of that cave room. It is, however, close to 8 p.m., and I usually try to take a break around this time. So let me pause the timer right there. And we can take a quick break and come back to not butting our head at the same problem, but a brand new scene to explore. I would enjoy the game universe. The available actions and verbs are even worse. The thing is, like, you would think that even, you know, despite the ambiguity between the verbs of use and operate, like, obviously the game makes it clear that one of them is for when you want to use an object on another, and one of them is for when you just want to use an object by itself. But the weirdness comes in when you're like, well, I want to use this pickaxe on this wall. So you pick the option in the game that lets you do exactly that, and the game tells you, nah, nothing works. That's not, nope. So we spent like a good half hour, like, not even a text parser game, but like a point-and-click adventure game that has like 2 verbs. I was still stuck trying to figure out how the game wanted me to command James Bond to strike the wall with his pickaxe. It's would have been infuriating if not for being so completely absurd. But I guess absurdity is what you come to these kinds of games for, to a degree. Universe has like 3. All right, well, that's enough to get confused, I suppose. If 2 is, then 3 would be as well. Use, operate, and hit. Okay, sounds great. Sounds great. All right, well, let me take a short break. I'll be back with more Bond action right after this. Okay. I have returned. And, well, let's make some more progress, shall we? Okay, time to go for a swim. Time to learn the controls, I guess. Alright. So, we gotta go under this. Oh, okay. Turns out, pathfinding is still... Okay, yeah, you gotta, like, hold the mouse button. Does the right mouse button do anything? Nope. Like... Diablo style walking, I guess. Is this gonna scroll? Like he can't... Oh, okay, he can sort of swim on the surface. Is this... Okay. I guess we go down underneath here. Oh yeah, timer. I was gonna say thanks for reminding me, but no one did. But I happened to see it. That's just as good. Alright, let's see if we can go down here. Alright. Yep. Ugh. Very, very fun and good arcade controls. Yes. Alright, okay, yeah, cool. Thank you. Thank you. What's up, NPC? Alright, what? Dude, you get like stuck on everything. Why am I... Oh, there we go. Can you swim? I assume that this... I guess it's like a horizon line. This dark line. So I guess you can swim under, like... I see. I guess it's just decoration. Yeah. It's weirdly intense. Okay. I'm on the surface. I'm on the surface. Okay, good. I thought I started clipping through the wall here, but... Alright. Doesn't look so bad, but we're not out of the woods just yet. It's actually kind of cool. Okay, we're free. Okay, this is pretty sick. Alright, that's what the staircase is for. Alright. We made it. Let's save. We're back in town. You have any comment on this? Please. Nope. She doesn't give a shit. Alright, okay. Flowers cost 2 Cruceros. Assuming our inventory hasn't changed much. Well, okay. We have our safe cracking box. We have our pen. I mean, we haven't been to the hotel, so I'm sure that's gotta be a thing. We haven't been to the military base. So that's probably gonna be a thing at some point. Yeah, we're just soaking wet, but that's fine. Bond's dry wit will have him good as new in mere minutes, I'm sure. I remember when we played this before. Oh, this guy new? I think he is. I don't think he's here before. We went through the hotel just to see, because there's like several floors of rooms. All of the doors are locked and everything, as you would expect. So there's like, until you have any kind of actual errand there, there's nothing to do. But there are several screens there. So like, now that we've obviously made it past some kind of progression trigger, I wouldn't necessarily say that it's worth, at least not like a good idea in terms of figuring out progress. But we could, if push comes to shove, explore a bunch of screens to see if something may have showed up in them. But it makes, like, I have, for some reason, call it my charitable nature, I think a little bit more of the designers of this game than to expect them to put some arcane, invisible, you know, hard to find vital item or character or something in the middle of like a random hotel room on a random floor. So it doesn't seem sensible to go there as a first place to look. But like I'd go to the hotel and see if like there's someone in the lobby or something changes there. But we didn't even need to go that far because we already just saw someone here. Judging from the contents in the box, this guy must sell bracelets. So it's not to say that there's anything of value here, but there's something new. Oh, the way the characters like turn their heads and react to you, that's so cool. Like I feel like I've never seen that in other games like this. The guy watches you approach, then breaks out into a shrill voice. Bracelets, bracelets, take advantage of this exceptional offer today. 20 cruceros, yes, I said 20. Windsurfers, jet skiers, and swimmers. This bracelet is for you. Jesus Christ. Hello, senor. Yes, this is an extraordinary invention. Simple, dependable, and discreet. It inflates automatically when you press the button. Best used before you go swimming. Don't miss this special deal. Here, you are a nice guy. For you, I will sacrifice this bracelet for 19 little cruceros. So we obviously don't have any money. I mean, this guy's, he's got quite the sales pitch. An inflatable bracelet. Sounds like it could be a lifesaver. At least, you know, in an adventure gaming kind of context. I've gotten out of various pickles using significantly more humble sounding objects than an inflatable bracelet. So, you know, I'm game, but I don't have any money for it. What's up, Lamisar? Games are good. We caught up. We had to replay from the beginning because I didn't have my save file, which is just as well. We just sort of acquainted ourselves with this game. We made it back into the cave where we had been locked up by the secret Soviet spies. And after a lot of trial and error, I succeeded in figuring out how to use an item on another item by, in fact, not using the use command, but to operate a pickaxe at an arbitrary location to strike a wall to get us out of the cave. Then we did a little bit of swimming, then we made it back to town, and we are now, like, as far as the game's sort of storyline is concerned, right, we know that there's Soviet agents involved. We know that they stole an envelope labeled Operation Stealth. We know that our contact was killed. So we don't really have a lot of leads. All we have is a code breaking / safe cracking box. We have a few other gadgets of questionable usefulness. And this charming gentleman over here selling bracelets. So I reckon we still have to just do a little bit of exploring to see where the game may have placed other characters or objects that make it seem as if they're important to our progress. I'm assuming I can't trade a pickaxe for it, but what's up, opponent? Yes, we're playing James Bond tonight. Alright, so the box here is like not a separate thing. The beach is. That won't do anything. Well, let's not assume that we're gonna have to do some weird trade. We'll just make a mental note of this guy being over there. I was gonna say, is this the carpet sound? Maybe it's supposed to be gravel. See if anything obvious appears here. I suppose not. Oh, that's right. There's like almost nothing to interact with. Like even with the Imperial plants, this person. It's like weird. Like up until this point, there's been, you know, the early airport bathroom. There's like electrical outlets, power switches, towels, mirrors, doors. Like you can, it's the sink. There's like a lot of stuff you can click on and have Bond say, nope, nothing of interest. I don't care. Can't do anything. Forget it. But here they just, they didn't even bother. Speak to the receptionist. Receptionist puts on his best smile. Buenos dias, senor. I hope you had a nice walk. Personally made sure that your baggage was taken up to your suite. That's interesting. If you need me, please don't hesitate to call, senor. I would be honored to serve a guest of your importance. What a nut! Okay, so I guess we have a room. I might as well save here. Can you tell us? Remind us which our suite is again? Nope. Okay. I mean, that suggests that there is something... Even this door isn't interactable. That there could be something going on here. Oh, doors... That's not how doors work in this game. I keep forgetting. We... Like, without just pulling on every door handle... we can just make a quick... survey and see if anything seems out of the ordinary. Oh, the stairs are probably faster. Like special animation to make sure his feet actually sync up with the steps. Pretty good. Like suites, are those maybe higher up? I don't know. Or is it just a French-ism of calling every hotel room a suite? Or maybe that's what you do in English, I don't even know. But technically speaking, a suite would be something that's more than one room, though, right? Like the definition, isn't it? Oh, it's the top floor. That spooked me a little bit. Brave woman is doing her work. Oh, it's the elevator button, okay. If a door was unlocked, you'd be able to just walk up to it, right? It's opening, James! Okay. I was like, well, maybe we should try opening doors, because up until this point, that hasn't been a thing you do. So is that the narrator being excited, or is it the narrator being scared, or is it... I don't know, what's going on here? The game seems as confused as I am. Well, it's a new screen. Oh. Hands up. One move and I'll shoot. Like, this is the first time we've seen a character name in a dialogue box like this, but that's fine. You have a funny idea of hospitality, lady. And it's you who's talking about hospitality, you bloodthirsty brute. But, shut up! Your crimes won't stay unpunished very long when the world finds out. Finds out what? Miss Manigua? Oh my god, okay. Alright, there's... Okay, we just happen to look identical to whoever this is. Yeah, Bond's confused. Delighted, Mr. Bond. I hope you enjoy your stay here among us. Oh, this sprite's so good. You don't really think, you imbecile, that you can get rid of me so easily, do you? I guess this is progress. Oh, I guess in this scene I have to actually click to advance dialogue. Yeah. You'll pay for your crimes, Otto. One day when the justice of the people has its say. What do you call justice around here? It's me. Your young friend's candor is charming, isn't it, Mr. Bond? More so than your humor, my friend. Shut up! You and your Soviet colleagues have already caused too much trouble, and I've put too much time and effort into recovering the documents that your damn spy had stolen. But everything is okay, and Morpheus has gotten his smile back again. Ha 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 ha! Good, time out for a joke. Tie up these two and throw them in the water. Fucking Bugs Bunny dust cloud fighting animation. All right. Bon voyage. I hope you like fish. Haha. Oh, dude, the animation's so good. All right. Okay. Okay, I can't save right here. All right, okay. Well, I'll just wait till we reach the bottom, I guess. The music seems slightly inappropriate. Oh. Okay. Swimming 2. Right, James, girl, nope. Move. What, the watch? Like you did nothing. It's very possible that I could have used an inflatable bracelet, for example, and I was supposed to have grabbed that before we went here. More action and less talk. You haven't noticed anything special about James. All right, okay, fair enough. If you say so, game. I can't move. Oh, yeah, there's my oxygen meter down there at the bottom. No result. That's why I'm a little hectic here. Your lungs are nearly ready to explode. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I needed something here, because I don't think... there's like nothing else on screen, right? Not even the rope or the rock or whatever I'm tied to here. Literal only hotspots I can see are James and girl. I mean, maybe we go back to the bank and you lose consciousness and your game. The adventure ends here. All right. I can check my inventory. Okay, so let's go back here. Like, whether or not I could solve that scene with what I had in my inventory, I know that I did not even check half of the locations here before we went into that hotel room. I'm just, you know, it's good to know that we can just walk into that room, because I really lucked into it. It just happened, like, we went through all the rooms, and I could have tried from the first room on the bottom floor to try opening a door, but it's just like we looked at them and it's like, maybe I'll try opening doors and see if that works. And I guess that's the room that you can open, so that was pretty lucky. Do I need 2 bracelets? I don't know. I mean, the reason I bring it up, it's, well, partially an inflatable bracelets when he's talking about swimmers and jet skiers and whoever using them. I mean, that seems like it could come in handy. But it's like not necessarily that I have a super clear plan of attack and like idea of how that's going to work out, so much as, hey, that is something that you can interact with. Hey, that it's like some kind of game content. Like, the way this game is designed, it doesn't do a lot of, like, you know, 50 or even 2 parallel quest lines of things you can investigate and do. It's like it is kind of sequential and linear. So, like, and it's also like there's no flavor, there's no, I mean, no flavors, but like as far as the writing goes, there's no like embellishment of the tone and atmosphere through the writing. There's not a lot of like, you can interact with stuff to get feedback and get something that puts you in like the mood of the game or whatever. Like, anytime you get any amount of feedback on anything is usually a good sign that it's like vital for the progression of the game. So the fact that there's a guy who wasn't there before who wants to sell you a bracelet that it can inflate, I mean, it doesn't matter if he wanted to sell me, I don't know, chocolate bars. It's still like, ooh, that's probably something I need to do something with. They would not basically have put that guy there and let you have a conversation with him if there was no point to it. So this is where the Russian guys caught us. Okay, nothing here, and we don't have our card key or whatever to have him open, because now we have the safe cracking thing. But let's see, maybe he can we can be like, hey, remember me? Can you let me down in there again? Nope. No time to talk. Oh, we have a pickaxe, but can't give us any money either, I guess. This guy's probably still sleeping, right? You speak with him, no answer. Nothing to say about it. How do I... Maybe you can't do that now that we're back, but at least earlier, when, like, first time you go here, I want to say, there's some weird joke where he's sleeping and the game is like, oh, this man is living the dream, being able to sleep. It's like, it's making some kind of reference to the development team of the game not getting any sleep because they're too hard at work. Let's go back to the murder scene. Clear it up nicely here, I guess. Nothing new here either that we can see. No answer. Hey, but there's only a jungle out there. I have much more important things to do in town. You say so. Technically, we can take a cab back to the airport. Yeah, literally nothing else here. There's like, the screens are so devoid of like interaction hotspots a lot of the time. It feels a little strange. It's very much like you can feel like they designed the game around like the critical path for like progression, like sort of you need to do this, you need to do this, like this thing. I didn't realize I can do that, but wait. Slot is meant for coins? Do it, nothing. Okay. It's a totally different description from before. But there's not a coin return, so I can't pill for change here like we could at the airport. Oh yeah, and I don't have a passport or ticket now, of course, so we can't really go very far. Yo, what's up, Icarus? I mean, it's possible that we can like haggle with this guy or something. I didn't really try speaking with him anymore, so nothing else here, right? Can we operate the beach? No result. Yeah, he's gonna sell bracelets for 20 cruceros. I have no idea how much that is. I just know that it's the price of 10 red carnations. Windsurfers, jet skiers, and swimmers. This bracelet is for you. An extraordinary invention. It inflates automatically when you press the button. Best used before you go swimming. Does that mean I should get it and I should press the button when I go into the hotel room? Video editing work. I finally installed DaVinci Resolve to splice together some broken VODs, which reminds me that I should be recording this offline, which I'm not doing right now. Stitching together VODs is so annoying. But I finally were able to, like, over my sort of slightly less active period for the past month or two, I didn't archive all the VODs of everything I've ever streamed previously. Some stuff I felt was like, less crucial. But I tried to make sure that I at least was able to record all of games Bond and versus fighting videos, streams rather. And I think there's still one or two things that I have like downloaded to stitch together and edit before I post it to YouTube and upload the VODs on Twitch. Or maybe I am up to speed on that. I'm not sure. But I was behind on that for a while. Speaking of. Happy for more Bond. Yes, so am I. Glad to be back. Yeah, okay, so 19 little cruceros. So I didn't continue to speak with him. Yeah, okay. Saw that you were interested. You hesitate. Ah, I see. And face the look of a nice guy. Come on, my last price is 18 cruceros. Will he eventually give it away, I guess, is the question. Well, senor, are we going to make a deal? What if I try to leave? Come back. Are there multiple screens here? Oh, I guess not. I mean, it doesn't really matter if it's 20 or 19 or 18. I have 0 cruceros to my name. Let's forget about it. Operate, man. No wanton violence, James. All right, no trading flowers. What about the razor? I already listened to the thing that's on the tape. Do I need to record something else on this? Like I did nothing. Okay. Yeah, I guess we can operate the pickaxe. I don't see why. Okay, yeah, we can only do that in caves, I suppose. Okay, but what if we leave and come back? Statue of the foreground, like, it's not the, like, there are other games, we talked about this before, of course, like, I was really impressed when we played the original Monkey Island last year. Where do I leave? Like, the cursor is, like, at the very edge of the screen. Maybe I need to... Alright, there we go. The sort of the camera angles and the layouts of the scene, like, it was a pretty fancy technology, I guess, that like, the sprite scaling or whatever you want to call it, that Guybrush actually shrinks when he's small, like further back in the background. That they used to really good effect of like having screens with a good amount of depth in them, and also that like where everything isn't perfectly perpendicular and angular. And this game doesn't quite do that, but it still has like some pretty interesting designs for certain screens. It's a good looking game. Sure. Well, okay. I guess we sort of managed to haggle him down to 18. Maybe we can, we didn't go to the airport. My best regards, senor. The Hotel Manigua Excelsior is extremely honored by your visit. The giant smile when he talks. It's so funny because, like, when you just show up before, you don't get this kind of reaction at all. So it's like, you would think that if we look like some extremely important person, that they would think we look like that person whether or not they had checked in. But I guess maybe they don't know what he looks like until he checked in under his name. What was his name? Otto? I show the inventory. Here's where we're at. We got the watch, the razor, the red carnation, the little box, pickaxe, and the pen. I don't know. Earlier on, when we were playing it before, when we were here the first time, I had the thought of using the pen to melt the bars in the vault, but there's like nothing you can't use the pen. There's like no hotspot for you to interact with it. And even then, like, I'm still not sure if that is the pen or if it's a different pen. I'm just thinking, like, all right, so I guess we want the inflatable bracelet to survive the drowning attempt. I don't know that, but that seems like a reasonable guess. In order to get that bracelet, we need to convince the guy to give one to us, which the most straightforward way would be to give him 18 to 20 cruceros. But maybe there's another way. People seem to think I am some dignitary of some kind. And they confuse us based on how I look, but only some people, only after they've checked into the hotel. Is that something I could abuse to get money? Could I like tell the guy in the reception, they're like, oh shit, I forgot my wallet, can you help a brother out? Just give me 18 to 20 cruceros so I can buy a very important thing? I don't know. I think if you just stand around here for a bit, because I don't think you interact with this thing. Yeah. I think the taxi... We might as well just, you know, since I'm kind of thinking aloud without really having much of a plan. I could just as well go to the airport and see if there's any... Like, I have no real reason to assume... I mean, for all I know, maybe the taxi doesn't show up anymore. Like, maybe I cannot go back to the airport. I might have been soft lock, even though I had what I needed to get out of the cave. I don't know if you are certain or if you are being like, I don't know if you're playing coy or if you're literally unsure. Makes no difference to me, granted, but I wouldn't want to start loading previous saves without a good idea of what I'm even looking for. And I'm not asking for a hint or a suggestion for what that is, but I feel like I don't mind messing around a little bit more now at this point to see if there's something I can do, someplace I can go. Because, I mean, we basically, let's see. There's nothing really... Like, if you look at the progression here, from getting back to town after we escaped the cave, we haven't really achieved anything, right? Technically, I guess we talked the guy down from 20 cruceros to 18, but you can do that in 2 seconds if that's the thing you need to do if we replay it. I can load up this save from the bank and just look at our inventory there and see if there's something... Like, I wonder if there's something in our inventory that we would want or need. Actually, you know what? Let's do that. Let's see if this... Because I don't think that guy... In this save, we have currency, which if we trade the currency for change here at the office, we'll get like a few coins and that's it. But maybe if we have currency, like pre-changed currency, if the bracelet guy is there, which in my memory he was not, but he could be. I don't know that for a fact, you know. Then we can maybe use the currency now to buy the bracelet. And if that's the case, then we're good. So I guess it makes more sense to try that first and redo all the other stuff. I mean, it's not even redoing much. It's really just knowing what to do. We'll get out of the cave in 5 seconds. It's just the swimming we have to do again. But looking through the inventory, like, what else did we get stripped of when we get caught? We lose our American passport, we lose our airline ticket, and we lose our English passport. And we need those basically to sort of navigate, walk around the airport. So if there's something we need at the airport at this point, like, this is the last time we can get those things. And from the looks of things, it seems like the taxi might not even show up after the fact, so... but I can't think of anything that would be there. The newspaper is the thing that just tells us at the very, very beginning of the game which country this country has friendly relations with, so that we know, you know, which fake passport I need to use. Yeah, I guess looking at the inventory, it's like everything from the watch and below we get to keep. Everything above that we lose. Yeah, the telegram's useless. It just tells us the bag to use. But yeah, the currency, of course, is the important thing. And as of right now, it says we have lots of money. So let's go check if Bracelet Man is over there. He's not. Okay. Is there something we could do? Do we like stash the money for safekeeping or something? Can I use my currency on James to put it in a secret compartment so that it doesn't get taken by the Russians? Can I dig my money into the sand? Because we could go to the airport and we put the bag in the bin or whatever. But we can't go back to the airport to pick that bag back up anyway, so that doesn't really help us. Can I deposit this in the bank? Actually, no, because if I try to give him the banknotes, he'll just give me change. Unless if I have the currency, the Russians will take them. Like, I'll lose that money. But if I exchange it to coins, I get to keep them, and those coins are somehow enough to buy the bracelet. That seems so stupid and roundabout, but it's like not impossible. But, you know, the idea of me being supposed to stash the money somewhere for safekeeping is completely absurd, because it makes absolutely zero sense outside of the context of knowing that I will be back here after having my pockets ransacked by a couple of Russian spies. But I guess that's the kind of foresight that a guy like James Bond has, so maybe. We just stick it in the ashtray. That won't do anything. I guess we technically didn't go look in the vault in the later save, or did we? Metal... Oh yeah, because I remember this. There's a metal desk. I was like, oh, am I supposed to melt this or something? Yeah, the only thing I can think of is... It'd be relatively quick to see if I get to keep the coins. But I'm gonna try another thing. I'm gonna... Just gonna check here. And just see if maybe the bank vault is different now. I don't think we went here to check. Well, it's not. Unsurprisingly, it's not different. Well, I mean, let's do this, because it's going to be faster to try this than to think of anything else. You have any change? Yeah, why didn't you ask for everything at the same time? Throws us some coins that we don't count. So now we have coins. They're further down in the list. Maybe that means we get to keep them. Let's operate the card and key. Let's use the card on bank clerk. So we're just retreading around here. Just open the door. We can go to... Unless we like... Yeah, no, I know I tried that because in our previous playthrough I couldn't... It took a lot of attempts to figure out how to get the teller to open this door, so we tried a bunch of stuff in the meantime. Calculator! Good God! Worked. So there's like nothing... Yeah, we're stuck here. Take this. Oh, okay, I didn't mean to click the envelope, but whatever. The Russians. So the only thing I really need to check here is what my inventory looks like once we're in the cave. Because if we have the coins, then maybe it's worth doing all this and see if we can buy a bracelet. And if not, we don't need to waste more time on that idea. I do have the coins. Okay. Well, in that case, we can speed run through this to see if these coins are enough. Like, we don't know how many coins that is. Bond didn't even count them. Last time we did this, it was just enough to buy a 2 Cruceros worth of red carnation. But maybe we have enough to actually buy a bracelet now. So let's use the ropes on... All right, we have to operate the ground first. There's a piece of metal sticking out, and now we can use our ropes on piece of metal. Now we can take the piece of metal. No, we have to operate piece of metal. You grab the thing that I wanted so much, and then we stand right here, and then we operate pickaxe. This is so stupid. Extremely trivial when you know exactly what the game wants from you. Takes a while to get there. Alright. So here, this is where the game introduces like the oxygen mechanic. That's why I recognized the oxygen meter in the other water scene. The collision in pathfinding here is definitely a little finicky. You know that he's on the surface when he's like waving around. Like when he's looking all calm and relaxed. Then he's underwater. A little peculiar, but there we go. Be a little confusing here. Let's hope those snags aren't enough to kill us. We're okay. And we're back. That animation's so good. Thankfully, there's just a little staircase here. I haven't noticed anything special about the sea. So we have coins now. I mean, no matter how you look at it, this is an improvement on this save because it's exact same except we have coins now. If that's the solution, that's like so stupid. Why did the game take the currency away from us? All right, let's speak to this guy. 20 Cruceros, okay. 19 little Cruceros. Last price, 18 Cruceros. Examine coins, you find nothing. I can't tell me how much. Oh, why do I bother? Use coins on man. Good. I'm going to give one of these bracelets to you. A wise precaution, senor. You won't regret it. Alright, okay. We have a bracelet, okay. You find nothing. Alright, so I guess we go to the hotel, and then we operate the bracelet before we go into the hotel room. Well, we'll make a save. Oh yeah, whoa, I accidentally clicked outside the window. Let's get the full experience of chatting with this guy first. His giant smile is so good. Best regards, senor. The Hotel Manigua Excelsior is extremely honored by your visit. Oh, thank you. You speak to the receptionist. Not much else we can do in here, frankly. I like that everyone's head just extends by a full pixel or two to fit their giant smiles. Hope you had a nice walk. I personally made sure that your baggage was taken up to your suite. If you need me, please don't hesitate to call, senor. I would be honored to serve a guest of your importance. What a nut! Alright, well, let's take the scenic route. I just realized that this is another person. Okay, I mean, this guy's like invisible. There's no hotspots for anyone. This is the back and shoulders of a person with a yellow head. I just realized. Alright, sorry, that just startled me a little bit. Let's operate the button. If the game doesn't somehow kill us for taking the elevator. Oh, this is kind of cool. A little extra interface shows up. I need to operate 3. I see. Is that why she is there? She's literally here so that we have to take the stairs? That's pretty funny. I don't really understand why. But that's pretty funny. Maybe now that we have the bracelet, something needs to happen in between floors 2 and 3. I don't know. That is funny. I don't get it. But it's funnier than any attempt at comedy that the game has made so far, I think. Alright, let's, well, we might as well save over this one also. Yeah, because we can't, like, I literally happened to go to the last door and just figured, okay, well, what if we try operating some doors? That's not how the game has worked up until now, but we might as well try it. But first, then, I guess we should operate the bracelet. No result. Okay, because it says, like, the guy has said something about doing it before you go, like, it's best to do it before you go swimming, which kind of implies that I need to do it ahead of time somehow, but, oh, maybe I need to use it on James to make him wear it. It's like I did nothing. It's as if it's similar to. Had I done nothing, I would have achieved similar results. I don't know that that means I did nothing, but no effect, I guess. Well, we have it in our inventory. Maybe we can operate it underwater. My best guess. Like, that's the thing. It's probably faster to get to that point and trying that idea than it is to try to exhaust any other ideas at this stage. So let's operate the door. And it's opening, James! Unbelievable. Because this is like fully a cutscene. I can't really do anything. Hands up, one move and I'll shoot. Cool scene. You have a funny idea of hospitality, lady. And it's you who's talking about hospitality, you bloodthirsty brute. But, shut up! Your crimes won't stay unpunished very long when the world finds out. Finds out what, Miss Manigua? Delighted, Mr. Bond. I hope you enjoy your stay here among us. Just like standing there with their hands up. Don't really think, you imbecile, that you can get rid of me so easily, do you? Can I? I can access my verbs here. I see. Okay, so now I can... Wait. Now I can operate my... The bracelet's even up top here. You press the button on the bracelet discreetly. There you go. We have to do it ahead of time. I knew it. A very light whistle tells you the bracelet is inflating. Okay, it takes a little time to inflate, I guess. You'll pay for your crimes, Otto, one day when the justice of the people has its say. What you call justice around here? It's me! Your young friend's candor is charming, isn't it, Mr. Bond? Also, then you're human, my friend. Shut up! You and your Soviet colleagues have already caused too much trouble, and I've put too much time and effort into recovering the documents that your damned spy had stolen. But everything is okay, and Morpheus has gotten his smile back again. Ha ha ha! Good. Time out for a joke. What is he even trying to say? I don't know. In any case, tie up these two and throw them in the water. Oh yeah, I gotta Bugs Bunny it up first. Bon voyage! Okay, let's see how this works out. So we got a little inflatable bracelet, but is that gonna help us? What is it actually going to do, I guess? It's what we'll find out. Yeah, we get this very charming, peaceful music. It's, cracks me up a little bit. I don't feel like this is how they would score a scene like this in an actual Bond film. Maybe that's just me. Okay, You can barely make the button work. The bracelet starts to deflate, freeing you from your bonds. I see, okay. So I guess I had this giant ass thick bracelet when he tied me up. So now I deflated it. Yes, James Bond, currently bond free. I mean, it's sort of a cool Bond gadget thing, but the way it all played out is a little goofy. I had to like exchange my currency, so the bank teller threw a bunch of coins at me. I gave those coins to some bum on the beach, buy a novelty bracelet, and I had to activate it ahead of time. Anyway, we're free from our bonds. Operate the girl. I have to. They're fully swimming controls here. Okay. Which is pretty good. No. Okay, you untied the ropes on the girl. Okay. He successfully pointed and clicked. Oh, dude. When this game is cool, it's pretty fucking cool. Your lungs are nearly ready to explode. I did fuck around for a little bit, so I'm happy to give it another try if need be, but hopefully we can make it up to the surface. Gotta get close. About to pass out. Soon your vision clouds over. Ah, shit. Alright, the adventure ends here. Okay. Restore game. When's this autosave? Alright, okay. Bracelet's inflating. Alright, let's kind of skip past this. I didn't realize, because this is like, it's not like this anywhere else in the game, but I needed to actually physically swim over to her location before I could, like, use the verb menu to untie her. I might have even waited a little bit of time before I deflated the bracelet as well. Yeah, oh, there we go. Yeah. Oh my god, okay. Controls are very strange, but I think we got there significantly faster this time. Do I click something to swim faster? I don't know. I'm like a little bit ahead of her now. Okay, I think we're doing better on oxygen here. I don't know, there's one more screen after this? Like clicking a little bit to help out. Oh, okay, there we go. Alright, how's this for a stroke of luck? In the middle of this fucking pitch black ocean, this guy happens to show up. Julia, thank God, we finally found you. Get in, quick. Animation's so good. Julia, you took a dangerous risk trying to take on Otto single-handed. Oh, the walk animation. So good. We'll see about that later, Tonio. Let me introduce a friend, Mr. Bond. I owe you my life, senor. I hope I can pay you back someday. Call me James, and let's not talk about it anymore.
Welcome to our side, Senor, the movement for the liberation of Santa Paragua. We owe a lot to you. You have just saved the life of the niece of President Manigua. She is our only hope to demask the imposter that passes for her uncle.
The niece, I guess. Niece. Close enough.
Yes, the Presidente has acted differently since Otto came. He's changed his mind on certain civil rights that he would have supported before. My family was his first victim, and I am the only one who is still free.
Very, very natural writing here. Very good. I mean, it gets its point across.
We think that Julia's uncle is still living and that he's being held in the palace. Everything's ready, Tonio. We can begin.
Oh, cool.
Good. The Presidente is organizing a show at the palace. That will be an ideal occasion to infiltrate there, disguised as a performer.
All right, we're just getting railroaded. Oh, full screen graphics from scene to scene here. It's like you're bumbling about for forever, and then when stuff happens, like it's popping off.
After many long hours in the thick jungle.
I'm just like, when can I save again? Dude, this fucking soundtrack. Oh, strange, but it's really good.
Our courageous team arrives at the edge of the palace.
Like, it's not really James Bond-like music. It works, but it's... I don't know. It's quite French. Oh, this is so cool. It's the same location as before, but like nighttime lighting. Really slickly done. See the silhouette of the guard, the tank in the background. Oh shit. Is that him?
Senor Presidente, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to present magic act famous all over the world, an act that only I, the famous Rudolfo, am able to perform on Earth or anywhere else.
Clap, 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 clap. Can I? Oh, I cannot save. Okay. Alright, he just made a Bond appear. Am I in control? No. Oh, she's got a sexy dress on, of course. Bond is bowing as well. This part could have used some music, I feel like, but it's still pretty cool. I like it. Oh, okay, sure. Just despawn it. All right, pretty good trick. Pretty good trick. Wait, what? Help me, James! Did I fuck something up, or is this just what's happening here?
Julia, where are you?
Okay, she got taken, I guess. Who between the two of you is the more wanted? Oh my god! Alright, okay, I was not ready. I was not ready for nuclear green Pac-Man here. Alright. I mean, it's not without precedent. There's, you know, there's there's similar maze sections in Indiana Jones and the Last Crusade. Alright, suddenly maze. It was a noise sumo. Yeah, the guards are just real buff. What on earth? Like this game man, this game. It's I mean, it's kind of cool, but it sure keeps throwing some curveballs. I mean, I will say that it's getting me intrigued to definitely want to play Future Wars. Like I feel like I keep hearing about all of Delphine's adventure games is that like they're kind of fucked, but they seem so cool. Even this game, like I wouldn't exactly necessarily recommend this to anyone that's like an adventure game or a Bond game for that matter. But there's been some cool scenes in it. It's like everything that isn't to do with actually solving puzzles and making progress and adventuring. As far as what's happening on screen, the artwork and the cool little scenes that play out, like they're awesome. It's just everything in between, not so much. Yeah, we need to tilt the screen to roll a steel ball. All right. I see. Okay, we got revolving doors. Okay. Did not quite work the way I expected it. Try to be more cautious next time your mission is over. Okay. So is he gonna... Yeah, alright. Let's just wait here and see what happens. Okay, so you can probably like trap him in if you time it just right. So that's probably what you do with all of them. Alright, so it's not really... You can probably sort of find safe spots. Right, okay. So if I save here... Alright, so I'll lock this... Oh, okay. There we go. Okay, now he's locked up. Okay, so I need to have some... This guy... Probably need to do this. Oh. The collision is a little funky. Alright. Let's save here. Do I need to maybe... No, I would want him to go inside. Alright, so I probably need to like... Oh, okay, so he's still like sort of... Oh, now he's wandering. Oh, okay, no, not really. Like, I'm wondering if I need to... Oh boy. Gonna be tricky to get that key. All right, there we go. All right, we that guy's over there now. That's probably worth saving. I'll just in case. Whoops. Bizarre section. It's all mouse control. I mean, maybe you can play with a keyboard or something. I don't know. So let's leave this the way it is. I can invite at least one of these guys up here. Oh, he's gonna... Okay. Shit, okay. It's not ideal. But he's not walking. I wonder if it's like I'm triggering him to do that somehow. Oh, okay. Well, we're fucked. Okay, but at least we know what happens there now. Oh my fucking god. Is this where I need to go? Holy shit. Okay, so maybe I need to make some more room. Like maybe I need to lock some other people away. Ugh. I thought this was a little bit silly. Now it's like, no, it's like fucking awful. Okay. But I can probably get at least one of these guys down into this section. collision is a little bit fucked. Alright. They do kind of react to you. I don't know if it's like kind of a line of sight thing or what. Okay, so that's one more guy. Oh, I just realized that other sections also flip at the same time. Okay. I just noticed this rotates when this rotates. Because I was wondering how I sort of let some people out. Oh my god, that is infuriating. And I didn't save either. But I think that's it's probably a good idea. Okay, if I can get them both at once here, that's even better. Like, I wanted to be fast. So I was scared about the other guy coming around, but like, nope, you just need to be slow. And that sucks too, because they were so like perfectly lined up. Let's see if they cooperate here again. Please have the other guy go down here again. Yeah, the other guy's not even close. Oh, that's right. That's why you still kind of need to I don't know if that like changes any of the patterns or anything. Okay. That guy's still gonna probably be a problem. What is this? I guess it's just this one that also flips this. So I could probably, like, with a little bit of luck, I might be able to get... Oh my god! More than one person there, is what I was trying to say. Yeah, that's not gonna help. Those guys are just locked in there now. Oh, these... Oh, I see. So those two are on the same. Yeah, he needs to be coming from the left. Or it's not really gonna work. Does anyone ever come up that... Well, okay. They turn like that, but... It's a little crowded here. Yeah, that's not good timing. And is that enough to like sneak past and get the key? I don't know. I mean, I guess I can... Yeah. Like, I was trying to see if I could get into this room, because obviously if I can sort of lock this door behind me, I'll basically be safe. Oh, I forgot that I was all the way up over here. Oh, okay. Now I'm trying to think. You know what? Let's. Never meaningful save, but. All right, I need to. I need to make so many saves for this. Oh, that was so close. Nice. Okay. This means that if we can get the key and get out, I just need to run all the way over there, assuming it's gonna like be in the same location or whatever. But now I do wonder if I could. Someone comes around here that I can sort of squeeze. They go up into this tile. Okay. Sort of. Alright, let's save down here. This is pretty stupid, I have to say. Alright. I think it's going to be tough to lock this guy up inside this little room, but if he's at least up here, I think that's an improvement. Oh, ooh, that's not fine. Okay, well, I flipped it back, so it's fine. Of course, when I flip this, this is also going to open. But with 2 guys here instead of 3, it's somewhat more plausible that I could get out of here with the key. Almost. That was pretty close. If I'd managed that, it would at least have like given me a little more room to. Let's do that. Okay, I think we're out. Oh, okay, let's hope that was it. So weird that these scenes are all on this like solid black background that makes Bond like completely blend in. Oh my god! I was like thinking in my head like surely that's it. Surely they didn't. Oh. Surely they didn't think that we needed more than that of this nonsense. What on earth? Well, we can probably write over these save files at least. Okay, so the key is here. I don't really need a pause command, so... Okay, so it looks like there's a little more room on this stage, and less, like... Maybe a little bit less... More kiting, less locking them up, is what I would think. I'm tempted to try to get the key as quickly as possible, no matter what, just to learn where the exit is. Whoa. Also sort of see if... Oh, so this one doesn't affect this one, but this one does affect the... Like, okay, that's kind of weird. Oh, I didn't realize those guys were... I think so. Comfy. I wanted to see if they affected the other. Okay, that's pretty good. In fact, let's... Course top left. But there's not like that many dudes in between me and that point. Really. Or at least like there's a lot of floor space. And lucked out a little bit closing that up. Okay, that's this appears to have been way easier than the first one. Okay, Bond's walking animation just wasn't playing when he was moving vertically. That's a weird relief. Out of the maze. All door. A majestic double door faces you. So we spawned in the screen facing away from the door, which makes me think this is like the maze is behind that door. But I guess that's not the case. Also, the game's like way slower speed now all of a sudden. It's opening! Oh my god. Okay, this art is pretty sick. The lighting and everything. The Hitchhiker's Guide to Time Travel and Towels. Okay, that's pretty funny. Improve your communication skills. All right, so this is like an actual pixel hunt sort of thing here. We got a bunch of different books. Dynamic Dictatorship with Power and Weapons by General Manigua. Okay, so let's just explore here. My Life Story as a Bee by Otto. Do we have a sense of what's here in case? Okay, it looks like we're gonna have some repetition here. Actually, does it just randomly... Anthropomorphic Study of Power Mad Criminals Among Bees by O. South. Okay, alright. I wasn't sure if it was like randomly picking titles or something. Let's forget about it. All right. It's funny that they had so many of these little hotspots to look at books, and then they had like 5 book titles. All right. Well, there could be some weird pixel hunt here with a very specific book that we need, but really hard to even like accurately click the book you wanted. Well, I'm with James for once. Let's forget about it. Wait, what's this? Oh, it's nothing, I guess. Game speed is just really low now for some reason, but leather chair. Okay, what we got here? Pencil case, lamp, desk pad, inkwell, office. It's, I guess, French for desk. The desk doesn't have any documents in it. That's quite adept of Bond to determine that from all the way over here. But all right, I'll take your word for it. Telephone, statue. Oop, okay, he's walking over to it. Oh, that's like a door handle, I guess. It's like, what's this little thing? There's a magnificent statue on the dais, but one of the arms is kind of funny looking. All right, that's probably a secret little switch of some kind. Examine door. You find nothing. Empty. Take several pencils. A very pretty bronze lamp. All right. You do it, nothing happens. Absolutely not. It would be a waste of my valuable time. Like, whose time? Bond's or the narrator? Palky says valuable time. All of a sudden, this screen has like 50 things to interact with. 50 things over here in the bookshelf alone. All right, can we, do we want to operate the phone? No result. Well, let's operate the statue's arm. Oh, that's kind of cool. It's actually its own hotspot. Examine statue's arm. The thing is, like, I don't want to find the progression trigger too quickly in a scene like this, because I feel like there's got to be some obscure tiny little thing that I was supposed to grab first. Okay, you manipulate the statue's arm and... Oh, okay. A safe! That wasn't exactly what I was expecting. Alright, good thing we have our safe cracking box. I don't exactly know how it works, but hopefully Bond does. Okay. So, little box. You examine the box. There are 8 lit up diodes and an on-off switch on the top, and 4 little suction, not suction cups, just 4 little suction on the bottom. All right, so let's, I guess, use little box on up button, down button, lock combination. I'm assuming the safe door. Place the little box in the safe door. Little box validation button. Let's consult the manual, shall we? Let's consult the manual. See what Q has given us in the ways of instruction here. Let's find our way to the code breaking box. It doesn't really look like this in the game, but that's fine. Place the box on the safe. Press the on-off button. Slowly turn the tumbler of the safe. There is none, but we got an up and down button, which I guess is good enough. The numbers in the code will be shown on the number display in the same order as they occur in the combination lock. Recompose the code in the same order as that shown on the number display of the box, and the safe will open. Did French people write this too? The numbers in the code will be shown on the number display in the same order as they occur in the combination lock. Is there even like a number display on it? I thought it was just like diodes. I mean, we saved the game. The reason I'm like flustered by this is this warning right here. It says you can't see my mouse cursor. That's fine. The code breaking box is powered by 2 batteries containing enriched mercury. This substance allows it to sense all of the infinitesimal, how do you even say that word? Variations in sound. Very tiny variations in sound. Or infinite, I don't know. Infinite and tiny. It's very sensitive. That is why it is used in the box. The disadvantage of enriched mercury is that it does not last very long when in use. You must act quickly. I mean, it's kind of cool that they actually made a puzzle out of it, but I wish they would have explained the mechanics of it. But whatever, we save, we'll try it out, we'll see how it goes. So we turn it on. Nope. We operate. Actually, we probably just click it. Okay, you switch it on. What the fuck did we just see? Oh, okay. So 4 is the first digit. 5 is the fourth. 7. So 4, 7, 8, 5. Yeah, we can just... Okay. Then we switch it off again. What? Oh, can we... Don't be dreaming, it doesn't open as easy as that. What the... Wait, what? Was that like the first 4 digits or... Switch it on. What? Does this mean that the first and fourth digit are correct? I can't like move my cursor. Like I already went to the fourth one. Dude, this is... Why does it keep changing? Okay, obviously I jumped to conclusions as to what this what it meant. But what if I... Okay, can I... 3, 2, 1, 0. Oh no, you made a false move and the safe explodes in your face. The documents are lost forever, but it doesn't matter. You're dead. What about my dead? That's kind of a weird... kind of weird for a safe to blow up if someone tries to tamper with it. Well, good thing we saved. Okay, let's read this again. Place the box in the safe. Press the on-off button. All right, we followed it that far. See, it claims that there is a number display on it. On-off, the on-off button is not on a pair of headphones? What? This sketch is inaccurate. Slowly turn the tumbler of the safe. The numbers in the code will be shown on the number display in the same order as they occur in the combination lock. Recompose the code in the same order as that shown on the number display of the box, and the safe will open. Yeah, rocket launching cigarettes sound exciting. I hope we get to use them at some point. Okay. I don't know, like... There's 8 diodes, I think. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And you know, this is 1, 2, 3. Guess that's supposed to be a 4? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. And I can't, like, I can press this button to like confirm the digit and move to the next one. But once I've locked that like, you know, that number in, then that's it. You know? And the fact that this kept doing like totally different shit every time I turn it off and on. All right. I was thinking the battery would run out in like 5 seconds. That at least didn't quite seem to be the case. So I guess we'll click the validation button to turn it on. Lights up, and then it flashes 4, and then 1, or sorry, 2, I guess. Three, 4, 2, 1, 3, 4. Like the order of this, because it was the same thing before. Like it didn't. It only lit up any of the 4 first ones. The numbers in the code will be shown on the number display in the same order as they occur in the combination lock. What does that mean? Recompose the code in the same order as that shown on the number display of the box and the safe will open. Recompose. Does that, like, I'm thinking like these, the 4, like these, each diode represents a place here. So the second diode would be the second number. And I'm changing this number, and like this is reacting to it. So I figured, okay, 0, digit number 2. 2, digit number 1. I'm using the safe cracker or the code breaker. There, as far as the manual goes, they are the same thing. Like let me show you. Number 5, the safe cracking box. It gives a little description. Then it says how to use the code breaking box. So this image doesn't just like this isn't what it looks like right now, but the little box that we saw in the safe deposit box where we took it, it looked a lot more like this. And then it tells us to place it on the safe and whatever. So I don't think we've got the wrong gadget. I don't think that's something we need to be too worried about. I mean, it would be kind of absurd for it to let us do this if that was the case. My eye. So I kind of stepped this through on the first attempt, and then I like figured like, oh, okay, so the digits represent the place in the code, so I'll just look at this and I'll step through it. But if 2 is the first one here, so we think it's, I guess, based, if that assumption is correct, which it didn't appear to be last time, well, let's pretend that it is. The combination would be 2, 0, 7, 8. So if we validate the number 2 here, now we're on 0, and that's like, hey, digit 2. I'm just flipping through here to see if anything changes here. 7, 8. Doesn't appear to. Yeah. We set this to 7. Yeah, just flipping through it to be sure. So maybe I can just open it now. Maybe I just like fucked it up by like trying to fuck with this. Nope. Don't be dreaming. It doesn't open as easy as that. Why is this like flashing now? Do I press this to open it? Now I switched it off. And the rightmost 4 digits lit up. It's still not open. Like, none of these are highlighted. I can't, like, leave this screen, I guess. And I guess trying to take this, is that what made the thing blow up? This is so confusing. It's a solid one, an electronic opening system. Nothing to say about it. So now we're back to switching this back on. The first, the 8 lit up, and then the 4 first flashed. So now, like, I'm stuck here to being able to do this. Like, I don't know what the procedure is supposed to be like to opening it. 8 lit up diodes and an on-off switch on the top and 4 little suction on the bottom. Switch it on. See, now it's starting to do this. Because I was about to say, like, oh, okay, it didn't seem to change behavior much now. Okay, now it says, so now it's at 7 in the first, or whatever, 8 in the fourth. 2 is now not in the first slot, but in the second and third. Wait, is there like... If I press this when it's on 1, 2 and 3, 4? Does that do something, maybe? Like, turning this on and off and doing something, like, surely that shouldn't affect what the safe is, like, you know, the safe just expects me to enter 4 digits, surely. Okay, I turned it off, but this is still lit up. Now 0 is 1. Zero, 4. Is this something to click a button that many times or something? And the funny thing is, like, entering the wrong code, trying to yank open the door, like, that doesn't blow anything up. But taking this thing off somehow triggers some kind of self-destruct second mechanism. Anyone in chat have any idea of what I might be doing wrong? Or, like, do any of you feel like you have any idea of what's going on here that would help explain what I'm doing wrong and what I'm supposed to be doing? Because I'm at a loss. Slowly turn the tumbler of the safe. The numbers in the code will be shown on the number display in the same order as they occur in the combination lock. Confused, but it seems almost like binary. I mean, the thing that confuses me the most is that the response given appears to be sort of inconsistent. That is one thing. The other thing is, once I commit to entering a digit, I can't go back and change it. Once I made it to the 4th one, I can change the 4th one all I want, but I can't change anything else. Once you get the combination, do you have to use it on the safe? I don't know that I can interact with the... We can, I mean, sure, let's... So this isn't a thing that I can, like, I can't, like, take code, use code, whatever. I would expect that I enter a code and then either it's the wrong one or the right one, and if it's the right one, I can open the door. But I don't know if that's the case because I don't know if I've ever been able to enter the right code, because it's a little confusing to say the least. Where it says recompose the code in the same order as that shown on the number display of the box and the safe will open. That makes it seem to me like there's like kind of a two-step process of like figuring out the digits on the one hand and then like figuring out the order of the digits on the other hand, or something like that, right? But the response, the feedback given by the device, I shouldn't say the only way to interpret it, but to me the natural, intuitive way of interpreting it is basically that it shows me which of the numbers, like it's showing me the order as well as the digits. Let's just try to use this and think outside the box and think of how we could possibly interpret the numbers in a different way. To me, the box just shows you the right code, and there must be some way to actually use the code on the save. That's possible. That's the thing. Like, I can press this button to advance to the next digit, and once I've advanced to the last one, then like that's kind of it. So I like, you know, when I click this to like validate the fourth digit, this box like starts doing shit, right? It reacts. There's some kind of flashing and something happens. And I would have thought that, okay, that's it. I sent like the I submitted digits 1, 2, 3, and 4. They're all submitted. This thing's done its job. It's flashing and, you know, kind of saying, peace, thanks for everything. I've done my job. And then you're like, well, okay, so now it should open, right? And then it's like, nope, it doesn't open. So is it because, as you're saying, is there like some step I'm missing to sort of submit the code? The manual just says, recompose the code in the same order as that shown on the number display of the box, and the safe will open. Is that, have I done that? How am I supposed to know? Like, that sentence is so, like, recompose the code. What does that mean? I'm assuming it sort of means the device is telling you the code, so take that information and submit it through the code submitting interface, which is like, well, yeah, that's what I was doing as I was entering it. I was like, switch it on. 8 digits, and then the first one's flash. Okay, that's new, that it's doing this like right away. But it could be, I guess, that it's, yeah, it's just 2 5 1 5. I guess, how else am I meant to interpret that? So the first time around, I was like, maybe I was clicking around too much. Maybe I should just enter the fourth digit and then just open the safe. So that's what I tried the second time, and that also didn't work. Unless... does this mean that in digit number 1, I should put 3? And in digit number 2, I should put 1? In digit 3, I should put 0. And in digit 4, I should put 0. And in digit 5, which does not exist, I should put 2 and 4. I don't know, that doesn't seem right either. You know, number of lights. Yeah. I guess they're like, this would not be the first time we've, you know, operate pickaxe, you know, we've all been there. So let's just try, I guess. 2 5 1. So when I click this is gonna do something. So the button is starting to flash. It says validation button, When I click it, it's just like, oh, you turn it off. But did I do... Like, that's the thing. I feel like it's super sensitive doing this the exact right way. I got this far of submitting the fourth one, and then I tried to open it, and that didn't work. The guide doesn't tell you, or the manual doesn't say anything about turning it off or pressing the button to validate. It just says, recompose the code in the same order as that shown on the number display of the box, and the safe will open. But I don't know. It gets a little overlappy and confusing. Did I try entering the number, entering the fourth digit, clicking this, waiting for this to flash, then click this, and then try to open the safe? Maybe, maybe not, but let's try it. Okay, I switched it off. A little thing happened. Doesn't open that easily. Can I safely remove this now? Okay, I can safely remove it. Does that mean I can open it now? No. Fucking game, man. This game makes you question your sanity. All right, well, we made it. It opens and shows the famous envelope of documents that you wanted so much. All right, how much you're gonna guess we're gonna get kidnapped again or some shit? It contains coded documents. You don't have any way of deciphering them. All right, you just can tell that from the outside of the envelope, I guess. That's fine. Well, why am I not surprised? The world is small, Mr. Bond. Karpov. No, I'm Ostrovich. No names, idiot. No names. This joke just keeps getting funnier and funnier. Give me the envelope, Mr. Bond. Hello, gentlemen. It must be a family reunion. May I join you? Ha ha ha. Catch them. Oh shit, I just punched him. He got the envelope. Catch them. I want them dead or alive. Hopefully dead. Holy shit. All right, okay. I'm not sure what happened to our rebellious friends, but we're giving chase here. That section could have used some music, I think. Dude, the art's so cool. Oh, jet skis. All right. Why is this game like suddenly 80% action scenes with arcade gameplay? I just instantly took damage too. Is this game ultimate? I don't know. I feel like we're somehow rapidly approaching the end of the game, which I don't know if it's true, but like it somehow feels that way. Alright, are these rocks or sharks? I don't know. I'm getting exploded by them anyway. Oh. Why do so many Amiga Bond games have to involve awkward water vehicles? Alright. After several minutes of vicious fighting, this animation, you take, or whatever. This isn't the right moment to hang around. This auto sentence meant after you, something, something. Okay. Pretty funny. Okay. Avoid getting, like, struck by... Oh, boy. No, don't overlap my sprite. Whoops, almost got it that time, but almost only counts in hand grenades and horseshoes. The moment when the devs realized the game was too short, so they have to put some filler like a maze or a mini game. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much what they said about Last Crusade, right? Like, let's put some mazes in. It was the tried and true technique. Arcade section, obviously enjoyable and in no way annoying. I mean, yes, that is of course true of every point-and-click adventure game. Did they call it a water scooter? I mean, I don't know. I didn't see it, but I'm sure they did. Also, I just now realized that this timer has been stuck probably for like 2 hours. We're gonna have to do some science to Well, it wouldn't have been. Oh yeah, actually, I guess just about 2 hours because I resumed it after the break, and that worked just fine. But it's probably been stuck since then. I'll just have to work something out there. Well, I don't know if the game's like if we're about to finish or if there's a whole other thing after this. I don't know. I mean, it doesn't seem like we're in the end of the game, but it's just like stuff is just happening very rapidly. But it's getting pretty late, and I think again, I hate ending a stream on like being stuck on something. I'd rather have a good sense of what I'm meant to do when we resume next time. So I think we'll leave it there for tonight. We made some very good progress. You know, when I ended this before the break, I was like, man, this weird cave scene, you know, I had no real leads on how to advance. So I wasn't really sure. We had to like replay from the beginning, but we got there quickly. We got it all worked out. We figured out a lot of stuff. Like, I didn't really get stuck too much. Like, I feel like progress was much smoother tonight than in the earlier streams. But it's like every bit of progress is tinged with this complete, you know, feeling of doubt, of like second guessing everything. Like, did I really do what I need to do? Like, am I gonna get soft lock? Are things broken? All that stuff. Also, I literally just realized now, man, stream production is a blow up. That my camera's all like wonky because I have the wrong resolution, so the cropping is all messed up. I'll fix that for the next Bond stream. Anyway, we'll leave it there tonight, and we will return on Saturday, and either we'll finish this up on Saturday, or maybe we will take a break and do some other stuff and continue this Monday. We'll see. But I feel good to be back, you know, on Bond gaming, and I feel good about making solid progress in this game tonight. So we'll get back to this before too long. And I will be back, whether it's with Bond or something else, on stream on Saturday. And Saturday we will also be doing another Discord movie night. I forewent all the polling and hullabaloo this time and just decided that, you know what, I want to watch that Injustice movie, so we're going to watch that on Discord on Saturday. If that sounds like a good time, you can join in Discord clicking that link right there. And want to chit chat about my stream, about Games Bond, about watching movies together, or anything else, feel free to hop in there if that sounds like fun. As we wrap up here, let me take a quick look at who is streaming so we can find some kind of a raid target. What is going on Twitch? You know what? It's been a little bit of a while, I feel like, maybe because I haven't been streaming midweek recently. Well, why don't we go say hi to friend of the channel, Duke, who is doing some big, I was gonna say Amiga gaming of his own. I think he's playing the Super Nintendo version. Looks like a First Samurai. Fairly unhinged game in its own right. Maybe not quite on this level. It's not quite as French, but it's something, all right. Anyway, let's go say hi to Duke. Thank you very much for hanging out, guys. I'll see you guys back on Saturday for more video games and other comfy endeavors. Take care, everybody, and see you around. Bye.